Hi, sir. Good afternoon and welcome once again to the today's presentation. Now, I am going to start with the bank frauds, which is a very important area wherein you have to concentrate on this bank frauds. Uh, Even I can proud to say that there are so many forensic works are there, but basically you must know what are the basic things that affect the or that create the bank records. I'm going to start with the bank frauds, and this is going to be very interesting session. And I'm going to explain the entire bank fraud case with the case. Lot of case studies are there. So it is if you fail to identify any fraud, then you are answerable to insured. You are answerable to Reserve Bank of India and to all as well as to all the banks. But this is a very important thing that you have to see from the LFAR. Before going to the presentation, I want to tell one thing. If any fraud is undetected during the course of audit, if any fraud is undetected during the course of audit, then the auditor is held personally responsible for the loss to the bank, apart from losing the certificate, apart from facing our institute action, court action, regulatory action, etc. So the main concern is if any fraud is undetected during the course of audit, then the auditor is held personally responsible. That means you'll be made as a party to the agreement and your property will be in danger. Suppose if there is any fraud of 1 crore and that recovery of 1 crore can be made against the chartered accountant also who did the audit. Suppose if you fail to detect the fraud, if you are reported and if the fraud is not being taken care of by the management, that is okay. So the thing is, if any fraud is undetected, so you have exercised a care, and if the fraud is not detected by the auditor, and if there is any loss to the bank, then the auditor is held personally responsible. But before going to the presentation, and this is an important column that yesterday we have seen LFAR, this is a fraud. What the LFAR says about the fraud, that we will see. Fraud detected and classified. Fraud is detected and classified, but confirmation of reporting to RBI is not available on the branch. That means you have detected the fraud, and you have to inform to RBI. But whether to inform the RBI, and those details are not available at the branch. For that, you have to ask for the fraud register. There is one register called fraud register. You have to ask for the fraud register. In that, you have to see whether already there is a fraud detected by someone, or even by the manager, or by some officials, or by the inspection team, or even by the previous auditor, and it is a confirmed fraud. But confirmation of reporting, that is, if the branch, they have to report to RBI, or the controlling authorities, they have to report to RBI, whether that is available or not, that you have to see. And this is the first thing. This is a very important thing, because from the last new LFAR, they have given much importance to fraud. And second point is whether there is any suspected or likely fraud cases are reported by the branch to higher office during year, and if yes, provide the details thereof related to status of investigation. That means the branch itself, they have to identify any fraud. Is there any suspected fraud? Suppose if any manager suspected or any officer has suspected any likely fraud, the same has to be informed by the branch to the higher authorities. So first thing, confirmed, it's a fraud is confirmed, whether the reporting to RBI is pending or the details are not available at the branch. That one thing, that first point you have to report. Second one is whether there is any suspected or likely fraud cases. Whether there is any suspected or likely fraud cases, the branch itself, they found out. And the same thing they have to report to the controlling authorities. Here I want to tell one thing. The fraud cannot be, that is if there is any fraud, the branch manager himself, he cannot take any decision. He has to inform the controlling authorities, then only he has to take the steps. So if there is any such thing, and what is the latest position of such fraud, that you have to see, that he has to see, and he has to report. This is a very interesting position. And next point is With reference to fraud, next point is in respect of fraud, based on your overall observation, please provide your comments on the potential risk areas which might lead to perpetration of fraud. See, if you observe that there will be a scope for fraud as an auditor, if you observe there is a scope for fraud, that fraud you have to report to the head office. And what is the potential risk and what is the uh, possible area wherein the fraud will be taken? So based on your experience, you can identify the frauds. And point number 4, before going to the fraud, and they say that there's a list, big list they have already given. Big list they have already given. Falsification of accounts or false representation by the borrower. That is falsification of report. Falsification of accounts or false representation by the borrower. Suppose at the time of opening an account, if the borrower has given a wrong information or has produced any false information or some false representation, that point you have to analyze. And if you find any such thing that there will be a scope for fraud, that point you have to report. Second thing is misappropriation of funds, especially through related party or shell company transactions. It is nothing but through related party transactions. Shell company means some binomy companies they have created, and through that company they did some misappropriation. So these are the specific comment that you have to give in the LFAR. So you cannot escape. And if you say that there is no falsification of accounts, in case in future if you find any falsification of accounts, then the auditor is held responsible. Next one is misappropriation of funds, or diversion of funds, or misuse of funds through related party transactions or shell company transactions. So that means you have to be very, very careful. You have to verify each and every account. Third one is forgery and fabrication of financial documents like invoices, debtor list, stock statements, trade creditor documents, shipping bills, working orders, and encumbrance certificate to avail the credit. Forgery and fabrication of records. So in one of my client's case, what he did, he never wanted to pay the sales tax. What he did, he has got the loan by way of producing one quotation. After the loan is sanctioned, this client, what he did, he has printed his own bill, and he has given his own sales tax number in that advice. Previously, it was sales tax and not GST. He has given his own, he has printed some sales tax number of his brother, and he has handed over the quotation to the banker, and the banker, on seeing the quotation, they have released the money to the concerned name. Suppose if it is scaled as say if the concerned name is Ram Enterprises, bankers they issued a wrong enterprises, and there is a system weakness. That is, if any quotation is being given, and if it is the name of Ram Enterprises, the bankers they have to incorporate the address of the borrower, address of the quotation people. And if in this quotation, only the name mentioned is only Ram Enterprises, address is there. But the bankers, when they issue the DD, what they issue, pay Ram Enterprises. What this guy did, he has opened one address called as Ram Enterprise. That is my client. He has put the DD for collection. He has taken the money. This is a system weakness. So in case if the bankers, they issue any DD, and it should contain the name of the borrower, name of the person who is selling the unit, as well as the address of the party. But in this case, there is no such address. So this DD has been misutilized. So that means he has forged the quotation. And another thing is debtor list. So here, one of my when there has been that is, I have been approached by some other auditor. Sir, this party need 14 crores loan. I said, okay, I prepare all the project reports, and we'll go to the bank and we will get the loan. And it said takeover loan. This party has availed a loan from say X bank, and he said, sir, I don't want to stick on with the X bank. I want to come out of that X bank. Then he said, yes, no problem, sir. We will move with the some other bank. Then when I moved with the some other bank, then that banker has said, so there is a restructuring of advances, so we will not make the payment. Then after that, when I approached the party said, sir, we don't want to, I don't want to get loan from X bank. I want to get loan from some other bank other than the X bank. Then I insisted why. Then finally he has accepted. He has prepared one statement for bank, one statement for income tax, one statement for GST. And when they apply for Udayam registration, the actual turnover will come into the picture. The very, very important thing is if it is a cash credit loan, the turnover should be 5 times of the loan amount. There the party has availed a loan of 8 crores. So that means there should be a turnover of 40 crores into the account. Actually, the party has did only 6 crores. But when the party has submitted the papers for renewal, he has, that is, some auditor has colluded with him and he has changed the turnover to 45 crores. And as per the statement, it is 45 crores, but actual turnover as per the GST is only 5 crores, 5 or 6 crores. So he said, sir, if we take Udayam registration, turnover will come into the picture, then it will create a problem for us. So what he did, sorry, sir, it's a mistake. Then that is called as, he has even produced, he has prepared a false data on this, false stock statement and everything. So if that is the case, that amount to fraud. So as an auditor, you have to be very, very careful, and you are not supposed to sign those type of invoices, those type of data lists. Otherwise, you will also be made as party. And another thing, the last word, they say that encumbrance certificates. What is that? Is encumbrance certificate in few registrar office? I cannot blame all registrar office. Few registrar office, they will go to the registrar office, they will do some accommodation and change the entire encumbrance certificate, and without making any loan entry in that EC. If there is no entry in the encumbrance certificate, then the bankers and advocate, they say that okay, it's a clean loan. They will make the payment. So this is also another thing. If all these are there, then that amounts to fraud. This will be the party they will use only to avail the loan. This is one. This is also a specific report that an auditor has to give in the LFAR. The fourth one is use of current accounts outside the consortium where trust and retention account is maintained to divert the funds. That means if there is any consortium loan, in case if there is any consortium loans, the party has to open a current account only with that account. If he opens the account with some other bank other than the consortium bank, that means the collection has not come to the consortium bank. So transaction will not be there in the consortium banks, but the transaction is there in the outside bank, other than the consortium bank, transaction will be there. That is why the RBI has come out clearly that up to 5 crores you can permit to open with any branch. If it exceeds 5 crores, they have to open only after they are not supposed to open the current account with other banks, but they can open as a collection account with the permission of the main lending banker. It is permitted. But for this, the RBI has already come out with a specific circular. Suppose if you observe in the balance sheet of the party, if you find, suppose we have got a loan from Bank of Baroda, only Bank of Baroda entry should be there. If you go to the asset side, in the banker column, if they have a current account with IOB, if they have got a current account with some other bank, the auditor has to inquire why you have opened the account with some other bank, because you have got a loan from Bank of Baroda. So you should have only current account with the other branches of the Bank of Baroda and not with any other bank. If that is the case, then you have to ask why they have opened with IOB or some other banks. And for that, the bankers, that is Bank of Baroda, they have to give no objection. Then only he is supposed to open the current account. So this is also another possible area wherein there is less scope for fraud. If they open in other current account, that means there will be chance for the diversion of the funds. List of debtors and creditors were being fabricated and receivables were not followed up or return of debt related parties. So that means there will be suddenly when the manager or bank manager or officer, they say that sir, please come and submit the debtor statement, creditor statement. Actually, you know that yesterday we have said in the morning we have seen that you have to deduct the creditors from the total stock. So to arrive at the more drawing power, what they do, they unnecessarily remove the debtor entry. They unnecessarily remove the debtor entry so that they produce only less creditors, and they increase the debtors also so that they will get more drawing power. So if this type of activities are there, then this amounts to fabrication of debtors and creditors. And the manager has to see what is the last statement debtor and creditor, what is this statement and creditor. They have to compare it. If the debtors are not closed, still if it is there, and if the creditors have not been paid, and if it is still there, then the manager has to ask why it was there. So fabrication of list of debtors and creditors are also amounting to fraud. This area also you have to be careful. And this is a very important thing. Fake export bills, overstatement of invoice amounts, stock statements, shipping bills, turnover, fly-by-night operations, including the cases where the vendors, related parties, or manufacturers are not available on the registered address, round tripping of funds. Fake exports. That means that actually the party has exported the goods. So he has to produce the bills. Okay. What he did, he exported some perishable item in the export. But in that, he mentioned that some other than the goods which has exported, he has entered some other item, say steel. So he has sent the steel, but inside the stock, inside the shipment, if you find it is only a perishable item, say onion, perished onion or something, some perished potatoes, everything will be there. So this is one type of export, that is doing fake export. And overstatement of invoices. Why? If you do the overstatement of invoices, then you will get lot of export subsidy you can get. So overstatement of invoices, suppose if you do the, instead of $1 lakh, if you put $1,25,000, you will get more export subsidy. For that also they do the export, they increase or inflated the invoice amount. And stock statements, they are giving wrong stock statement. And shipping bills, turnover, fly-by-night, that is fly-by-night operation means whenever they are going for any address verification, no such person will be there. So that are coming under the category of fly-by operation. It is nothing but all are fake parties, all are fake addresses. So based on which they are doing the export. So if that is the case, you have to be very careful. But in a statutory audit, it is very difficult. But if you happen to see any such invoices, if time permits, you have to probe. Otherwise, you have to give a specific report saying that on test check basis, I am very much satisfied. Otherwise, I am not satisfied. But as a concurrent auditor, you have to see all these type of fake export entries. If you have got suspect, even you can go to the spot. As an auditor, you have got the right. You can go to the spot. You can verify the export. That is a borrower's place. And also, if you doubt about the fake export bill, that can also be inquired. You can recommend for the fraud observation. And next entry is whether the system of early warning framework is working effectively, and as required, the early warning signal form the basis of classifying an account as red flag account. So early warning signal means, as an auditor, if you observe that there is any fraud, there will be scope for any fraud, there will be definitely this will happen. One, and if there is any raid in the concern by the tax authorities, that is a clear indication that there will be some fraud has taken place or some mistake has been committed by the borrower in the account. So that is also coming under the category of red flag account. So all this are indication of fraud. But apart from that, you have got lot of things that we will discuss. So these are the general things that you have to discuss, you have to report. Apart from that, you have got lot of areas wherein you can identify the fraud. And this is my favorite topic. Almost this fraud topic I have presented to some 28 SARC branches. So even I can vouch that no one in SARC has submitted this bank frauds paper to the branch members. This is my favorite topic. And even I can tell we should know all frauds, but we should not do fraud. And even to some cases, I'll teach fraud, how to do fraud. So that is very important. Even I'll teach you how to do fraud, but we should know all frauds, but we should not do fraud. So even I can teach you how to get loan from 5 banks based on only one document. You've got only one document, but if I know that I can get a loan from 5 banks based on only one document. But as an auditor, you should know this. So this is a thing, important thing that I want to instruct. This is going to be a very interesting section because almost 80% of the presentation is with reference to case studies. So all the case studies are my experience. See, this is not others' experience. In my audit career, I have found out this type of frauds. If so, every entry is known to me, every word is known to me because everything is my findings. So I'll go with the RBI instruction. The RBI instruction has already reported if any fraud is undetected during the course of audit and if it is found in future, the auditor is personally held responsible. This is the word. This is the where we have to concentrate. Auditor is personally held responsible for the loss to the bank. Apart from that, we have to face our institute action. We have to face the regulatory action and everybody's action. So here the word is you are held personally responsible. That means there is a fraud of 1 crore or 2 crores, and if you are not able to find those frauds, then you'll be then your personal property is attached. So last week I have submitted at almost 8 branches I have submitted. When I said this, then few chartered accountants say that no sir, I don't want to do any bank audit. So that means you are not supposed to take the audit very lightly. You have to be sincere. You have to see each and everything. So it's a very big area, and you have to apply your mind. So you have to do the audit very carefully. Otherwise, you will be in danger. It is not only your certificate is in danger, your personal property is also in danger. So you have to do the audit very carefully. Then it's all theoretical. Who commits fraud? Who commits fraud? It is an internal staff. Internal, with reference to internal staff involvement is there. Then he will do some fraud. External fraud is being committed by the depositor, borrower, or outsider. All this I got a case study. I'll discuss later. Next one is that is both the staff and both the staff and external party, they colluded and they did the fraud. Here, this is the base because a staff cannot do himself, but only few staff can do it. But if they colluded with the other party, that is external force, they can do some fraud. So everything I have got a case study. I'll discuss later. And why they have to commit the fraud? That is improper recruitment of the employees. At the time of employment, their employment is not being taken care, and improper recruitment will definitely boost the employee that he has got the reason. Okay, I can do the fraud. Then lack of training, job rotation, discipline, and indebtedness of the employee. Suppose if the employee is indebted to someone, he has to settle the outside force loan. So what he has to do, he will definitely commit the fraud at the branch. Next one is this employee is doing some business and he may be a lender also. Some financials or otherwise are outside, that is other than the employment activities, he is doing some external work. So for that, he has to get some money. For that, he believed that he can come, if he commits fraud, he can get some money. So this also is the another motivating factor. Standard of living, extravagant living standard. That is, he wants to live very, very rich manner. So that also motivate the employees to go with the fraud. And careless and casual attitude towards operation. He said, I don't care. Whatever come, I will do it. But he did some mistake. To avoid that, what he did, he used to say that, okay, I will take care, don't worry at all. So in that manner, he is having some careless approach. This also will give scope for the fraud. And lack of belonging, sincerity, and enthusiastic approach. He has got no sincerity in his job. We will do. See, we'll take the money, then we'll take later. So that is lack of belonging, sincerity, and enthusiastic approach will also make that person to commit the fraud. And what are the psychological factors? This is also another important. What are the psychological factors is lack of identification of work. So I did this work, but the management has not identified my work. That is also another thing that motivates the person to commit the fraud. My job is not recognized. Then I'll see that I'll do the fraud. Let them find. So this type of mentality will definitely make the person to commit the fraud, and lack of proper recognition of work and achievement. Sir, I did lot of things, but but no one has recognized me. So this will indirectly force a party, for the customer, or force the staff to commit the fraud. Lack of reward and punishment. They say that my work is not being properly rewarded. So psychological thing. Punishment is very less. See, that is why in the morning, yesterday in a case I said about the quick mortality. They say that this is a government scheme. They have sanctioned some 37 crores immediately, 37 lakhs, and they are the sanction of the loan. Within 3 months, the manager has filed the case before court of law and a suit filed upon. Then the regional office they have reduced the 2 increment to the staff. This is a less punishment. If that type of punishment is there, then they say that, okay, we will get only less punishment, we can do the fraud. Lack of motivation, moral building, change in moral, that is trust to mistrust. So suppose if nobody has motivated your job and you are moral, so there is nothing. No, whatever I say now, nothing will happen to me, and nobody has recognized my services, and this created moral disturbance to his mind. So that is also another psychological factor. And the dominance of only I, me, self concept, that is priority of personal preference over the organizational objectives, goals, thus lacking team effort. Because if I want to do anything, I have to do it. I have to do it. It is my work. Everything belongs to me. If that is the case, that also be the factor that leads to fraud. And non-adherence to stability of the policy, that's only flexibility prevails. That is, personalized policies dominate the functioning of the policy. My policy, this is my policy. Whatever be the institutional policy, I don't want to follow. This is my policy, I can do it. So these are the factors that will definitely make a person to commit the fraud. Next one is inconsistency in decision making. There is vague decision making. Whatever comes, okay, I'll see. There is no confirmed decision. So that is the case. Then you will get a lot of factors that lead to fraud. It's all psychological factors and improper two-way communication in the organization. Because if you want to say anything, that has to be received by someone. Instead, you are not communicated anything and you retain yourself and you are doing anything. All these factors lead to fraud. This is also another psychological factors. What is the general behavior of the person who is doing the fraud? And he tries to oblige the employees and is generally highly cooperative. Suppose you go to any bank, you can observe this is possible only by the concurrent auditor. Whenever you approach any staff, they say that you approach this guy, he will always be cooperative. He will definitely help the employees to complete the job. That is the case. You have to ask why he has to do this. Why he has to do this. So this is also another case. Next one is role of ex-employees. Now, due to some employment problem, what they do, the management, they engage the previous employees, they engage the old employees, they engage the retired employees, and there is no concern for them. There is no responsibility for them. So that is retired employees have been given the password and they can do anything. So there is no responsibility. So this is also the general behavior of the ex-employees. Next one is quite popular among staff member. So he proved that he made that he is known to everyone in the staff community. So he is a leader. He is a person who cooperates everyone. So he is very popular among the staff member. Then he will try to do fraud. Suppose if any fraud is being committed by them, then everybody will accept, okay, it's not a fraud. He is a very genuine person. And always tries to perform the job without others involved. Suppose if you give any work, sir, you don't worry at all, sir. I'll do everything. So if that is the case, then he will definitely do the fraud. Because if your work is being done by me, and if I did fraud, then you are the person responsible to commit the fraud. So this process is also called as another general behavior of the person who intend to commit the fraud. And he always try to win the trust of the other person. Suppose this person is, so whatever I say, definitely everyone believes that he will not do any mistake. He will always be correct. His behavior is good. Whatever decision he is taken, everything is correct. That is, he tries to win the trust of the other person. And tries to get information, always try to get official information related to the seats and departments. What do you do? Sir, who has been transferred? You will go and ask the manager, is there any information about this person and who is going to act as general manager, who is going to this regional manager seat and who is going to head this department, everything he tries to get the information. Why he has to try to get the information means he has got some planning in his mind to do fraud. If, whether this person will be cooperative, whether this person is a negligent person or not, everything that he will take. So he tries to get the information. And generally not interested. This is a where every auditor has to apply his mind. A person is in the seat only for 6 months. Once in 6 months, the job rotation has to be done. And if it is not there, then you have to ask why the job rotation has not been done as per the head office norms. And normally he say that I am not interested to go out of the state. Yeah, in one of the banks where I've gone, where I have gone for the shuttlecock I mean, training, or we can say that morning we used to play, and there is a cashier who is coming to the ground regularly. We used to play the shuttlecock, but he will never go on leave. He will never go on leave, and he is a cashier. Then suddenly, due to some illness, he has gone on leave for 3 days. Then somebody has taken for his seat. Then he has found that there was a fraud. There was a misappropriation or a shortage of around 22 lakhs. Later on, they found that the person who has come to the ground has entered. Normally, he will go to the branch in the morning. He will go to his seat in the morning because he's a bank employee. He will go to his seat and he did some work and he has defrauded the bank to the tune of 22 lakhs. And normally he said, I will not go on leave. I will not leave my seat. I will sit only to this seat. So this is also the general behavior of a person who is intent to do the fraud. And he always comes early and sits late in the night. Whenever even before sweeper comes into the branch, he will be there. And so he will go even after everybody has left the branch. That means he has got a role to play some fraud. This is also another scope for fraud. So as an auditor, you have to see if you are a contempt auditor, why he comes so early, why he leaves so very late. Everything you have to ask. This is the general behavior of the fraud. And he will enable unreasonable postponement of activities. If anybody went there and went to him and if you ask anything, you say that, sir, today it is not possible. We'll do it some 3 days, 4 days. So that means he has committed some fraud. And if you are asking any clarification on that activities, he will say that, sir, nowadays now it is not possible, sir. I will take this job only after 3 days or 4 days. He always postpone his assignment. If that is the case also, there will be some scope for fraud. And from where you will get the fraud? From where you will get the fraud? This is a very, very important thing. From where you will get the fraud? That is by way of complaints. If any employee has made the complaint, or if any staff has made the complaint, or if the public has made any complaint, from that you can get the fraud. Change in job rotation. Suppose once in 6 months you have to change the job, you have to rotate the job. If that is not there, then in case if any job rotation is done, you will get a scope to see that the earlier person has done any fraud. So in case of job rotation also, you can get the update. That is, you can get the fraud information. Updating of housekeeping. What is updating of housekeeping? That is updating all the records up to date. That is tallying head office account and branch account, and tallying NEFT account, tallying all the records which are related to the head office. So if you update means even the registration of documents, even the updation, even the filling of loan documents, everything has to be updated. If you update, and if there is any fraud, then you can easily find that fraud. By updating the housekeeping, you can find the fraud. Balancing of books of account, now it is possible. Previously, it was there. In the balancing, they will adjust. Suppose if there is any difference, they put some dummy figure and they tally the accounts. Now, since it's a system based, it is not possible. But even in the balancing of suppose they may debit the head office account and credit goes to the manager's account. That is also possible. So because for every debit there must be some credit. So to do fraud, what they do the debit of head office account and credit to the party's account, credit to the manager's account in future. They will definitely do it because you have to do the head office reconciliation account. So if you do the head office reconciliation account, you can find why these entries have not been tallied. So balancing of books are also another area. Next areas during audit and inspection, one can find the fraud. During audit and inspection, suppose if any statutory audit or concurrent audit is there, or any inspection is being carried out by the internal team, there also you can find the fraud. Next one is visits by regional office or zonal office team. If the regional office team and zonal office team, they normally go to the branch once in 3 months, and they used to verify the records. Even nowadays, the jewel loans have been verified by the regional office once in 3 months. They have team from the regional office, they came to the branch, and all the purity and quantity, everything will be verified and tallied by the regional office. So visits of regional branch, if there is any fraud, that will be known during the visit of regional office and zonal office. Scrutiny of control return. Scrutiny of control return means you have to report the activities once in 15 days, once in month to the head office. In that scrutiny, they can identify, that is head office, they can identify the control returns. Then also there will be chance for fraud. And finally, presence of mind of the alert and efficient staff. If the staff is very much important, if the staff is very shrewd, and he can also easily identify the fraud. In this manner, you can identify the fraud, that is compliance, change in job rotation, etc. Next is, what is the auditor's duty? This is very, very important. Do not take the things and facts at face value. So whatever they say that you hear, and as it is, you are not supposed to accept. You are not supposed to accept the same thing. Don't take the things and facts at face value. Just like that, you are not supposed to accept. That means even I can say that you have to read in between the lines. You have to read in between the lines. So it is a duty of the auditor. Don't take the things and facts at face value. Don't trust others all the time. Don't believe anyone. So he is your boss. He is your staff. He is only an officer. You have to be friendly with him, but don't trust him. So this mentality you should have. You have to be friendly with everyone, because there you have to get the details. There you have to get the details. So don't trust the others all the time. And don't believe your eyes. So whatever you see, you don't believe your own eyes. So you have to probe further. So they produce evidence. Don't take the things very lightly. So don't believe your eyes. Be very analytical and investigative. So whatever records they produce, you have to analyze. You should have the capacity to analyze and investigate if there is any fraud or not. You should have that mind. Next point is, don't consider the person guilty unless it is proved beyond doubt. You suppose if you doubt someone, you have to satisfy yourself. You have to satisfy yourself that the person has committed the fraud. Before confirmation of the person's behavior, don't come to any conclusion. This is a very, very important thing. So don't consider the person guilty unless it is proved fraud. All the facts with due authority, with due diligence, bona fide, and without bias. This is a base. So whatever be the thing, you have to do the audit without any bias. Don't do any favor. You have to apply your mind. You have to do it very carefully. This is also another auditor's duty. And do such acts which further the distinction between bona fide and bona fide intention. For what purpose they are doing the transaction? So whether it's a bona fide transaction or modified transaction, that is whether it is a genuine transaction or whether it's a fraudulent transaction. So you have to draw the distinction between those items. So you have to do such acts, then only you can come to a conclusion whether it's a fraud or not. And always come to the final conclusion after taking into cognizance of the totality of the facts and circumstances. Just one portion you have got a doubt. Where you have got a doubt and you believe that that's a fraud. But you are not supposed to come to any conclusion based on only one situation. You have to, by taking all the factors together, then only you have to come to the conclusion. So this is the another method of identifying the fraud. And avoid piecemeal approach. Today you are seeing one record, and after 2 days you are seeing that, say another record, another 2 days, after 2 days you are seeing that record. No, you are not supposed to do like that. Whenever you start, when you have got any doubt, you have to do the verification at a stretch. Don't do the audit work in piecemeal manner. And this is a very, very important thing. These are the duties of the auditor. And it is nothing but all the investigation has to be conducted by the auditor if he finds any fraud. Now, next step is what are the areas that are fraud prone area? This is very, very important in a bank. What are the areas that are fraud prone area? One is deposits. Second one is advances. Third one is remittances, bills, cash, clearing, foreign exchange, computerized operations, security items, stationery, etc., miscellaneous general. It is nothing but bank's balance sheet. Everything is bank balance sheet, and all these items are coming into the bank balance sheet. That means all the balance sheet items are fraud prone area. All the balance sheet items are fraud prone area. The fraud status, it's only statistics we can skip. NPA is in the increasing trend. The last thing you have to remember, fraud is ocean. You can't get the depth. So this point you have to bear in mind. Fraud is ocean and you can't get the depth. What is the RBI definition on fraud? What is the RBI definition on fraud? Deliberate act of omission or commission by any person carried out in the course of the banking transaction. So is that he has to purposely, he has to deliberately do the omission or commission. It has to be carried out during the banking transaction. From where? From the books maintained manually or under the computer system of banks, and which result into wrongful gain to any person for a temporary period or permanent or otherwise. So this is called as a fraud. This is the RBI definition. The that a person has to do the deliberate act of omission or commission. It must be carried out during the banking business, banking transaction, from the books maintained, which is being the books maintained either the manual basis or computer system, and this results in a wrongful gain. It is not a original gain. It's a wrongful gain to any person for a temporary period or otherwise. Even there is one statement, if you go and approach the police, they say that, sir, we will not disturb you till you disturb us. This is the slogan of police. We will not disturb you till you disturb us. That means unless until you do some fraud or unless until you do some mistake, we will not come and touch you. So you go and ask any police officer, what is your slogan? What is your act? What is your aim? You go and ask any policeman, they say that we will not disturb you till you disturb us. This is what they used to say. And with or without any monetary loss to the bank. There will be some loss to the bank or there will not be any loss to the bank. This is the RBI definition of fraud. This is the RBI definition of fraud. Now, RBI has classified the fraud into two categories. One is advances, second one is deposit, third one is service. So that means in all the areas, they RBI say that frauds will be there. Advances, deposits, service. Now, what are the types of frauds? One is fraud in banks and fraud on banks. That is within internal, it is called as fraud in banks. External, that is called as fraud on banks. Now we will discuss what is fraud in banks. Cash lending during the office hours. So it's a case. Hereafter, I am going to explain the frauds by way of examples or case study. Cash lending during office hours. This has happened in one of my concurrent audit. What they did, there is a that is called as parallel banking. So it has when I happen to see a clearing transaction, one party has daily used to come and put checks worth of say something around 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs daily. So on seeing the instruments of 70 lakhs and 80 lakhs, and it was not a one instrument. It was instrument of say some 400 instruments, 200 instruments, 300 instruments. Then I asked the peon, because who is the professional informer of the branch? It is the staff. It is not the officer. If you are very close with your friend, you will get all the peon. Then you will get a lot of information. So what he did, what he said, sir, this person is getting the money from this person is giving money to the private people, and he is just like Hawala is doing the business, and he is receiving the check of the others. Thereby, he converts black into white. This is also one activity. It's a PMLA activity. From Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the bankers, they are accommodating this party. This party gives, say, he is having something around 1 crore in his hand. If you go and say that, sir, I will give you some 10, that is, I will give you some 10,000 or 20,000 rupees, you give the check. So this party, what he did, he receives the money and he issues the check to the party. And some party, they gave the check to him and they receive the money. So when they receive the money from this party, they are issuing the DD to the bank customer. The bank customer, he puts all the draft, all the checks for collection. So there is one entry in the system that is called as shadow balance. If any checks have been sent for collection, this is the bank's operation. If any checks have been sent for collection, the collection, that checks will be credited to the account only after 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. But the party, he wanted the money immediately. If any instrument that has been sent for collection, it goes to the shadow balance. It goes to the shadow balance in the bank. That means the party's check have been sent for collection, the amount has to come. So that is being recorded in the shadow balance. In case if the party wanted money, then what to do? Then the bankers, if they release the money from the shadow balance, then the bankers have to charge 1 day interest for the release. But the banker, they wanted to help the person, that is current account holder. Then what he did, sir, this is the total draft amount, say 25 lakhs. I have sent the check collection for 45 lakhs. You return 50 lakhs and that 50 lakhs you give after the clearing house. This 25 lakhs DD, please make immediate payment. So please understand the modus operandi. A party has come to the bank and he has put the check for collection, DD for collection. To the extent of DD, the party has received the money from the bank. But only thing is, this 25 lakhs or 15 lakhs has been kept in the shadow balance. If there is any transaction done in shadow balance, the banks, they have to charge 1 day interest. So in order to help the party, what they did, they have given the 25 lakhs to the party. The party has issued a check of 25 lakhs to the officer and the officer has passed the check. Then after that, this check is handed over to the cashier to make the payment. The cashier, what he do, he received the paycheck cash from the officer, he retains the check and he has handed over the money to the customer, but without making any entry in the cash flow. If they made any entry in the cash flow, 1 day interest has to be charged. So in order to help the customer, what he did, without making any entry in the cash flow, the cashier has paid the amount, but the officer check, that is officer who has passed the check, that is there with the cashier. In the evening, the money has come to the party's account and from the account is regularized to the normal balance. Then after the balance is being normalized, then the cashier, he passes the check. So thereby no interest will be charged on the borrower. Is it clear, sir? The modus operandi is the cashier has paid the instrument without making any entry in the cash flow, and if he passes any entry in the cash flow, then the party has to pay 1 day interest. In order to accommodate the party, what this cashier did, I will not, he will not pass any entry in the cash code, but he will make the payment. After the day end, the entry is reversed from the shadow balance to normal. Only after that he passes the check, then the system will not charge any interest. Then this I have found out in the concurrent audit. Then around 12:30, I went to the manager, and even first I went to the cashier and asked him to give the cash code. Then I put a mark in it. Then I told, requested the cashier, sir, don't do any transaction below this line. If you passes anything, then you will be caught. Then I called immediately. I called the manager, sir, I want to verify the cash counter. So this is where fraud has taken place. I want to verify the cash counter. Then the manager said, no, sir, if you do this exercise, then that will spoil our business. Yesterday I said about the cover method. Here I said that you have to mark, I have marked the line in the cash book. So I said that this is a book, cash book. I said, so cash book is there, and I marked it. So below this, you are not supposed to, make any entry. That means you have to stop the cash transaction. Then I request the manager, sir, please come. I want to verify the cash. Then the manager, he knew the techniques adopted by the officer and the cashier. And he said that, no, sir, if we did this, then it will definitely spoil our business. One thing I want to say here is, if anybody disturbs you from your audit procedure, that means something is fishy. This point you have to bear in mind. Suppose if you say one thing, and if he refuses to cooperate, that means there is fraud. This I can vouch from my experience. This is my experience. If anybody say that if anybody objects to your behavior, objects to your audit procedure, that means it is a fraud. There will be scope for fraud. Here the manager say that, no, I will not allow you to do the verification. Then I'll say that, sir, if you are not verifying, I found something is wrong. So I want to verify the transaction. If you are not cooperating, I am going to report this under the fraud. Then I told, after telling this, what the manager did, he called, it's a private sector bank, he called the general manager inspection, and then they say that, says this concurrent auditor is disturbing the business, banking business. Please instruct the concurrent auditor to do the cash verification only after the closing hours and not during the office hours. During the business hours, don't do any cash verification. Then that GM, he came to me online and say that, sir, don't do this, and you do this in the evening. And once again, I told the GM, say that, sir, I suspected some fraud. I want to verify. If you are preventing me in reporting the fraud, then I will definitely, your name also in my report under the category fraud. Sir, please tell your staff number. This is what I have informed, I have asked from the general manager. Then the GM, he knew about me and said, no, Ravindran, you go ahead. I will not interfere. Then he has given instruction to the branch manager, you have to cooperate with the auditor. Then when I verified those transactions, there was a shortage of something around 38 lakhs in the cash counter. And when we add the instrument, that is the checks passed by the officer, is only 33 lakhs. That is the officer check. That is the cashier has paid the check without making the cash code is 33 lakhs. But actual shortage is 38 lakhs. Then I inquired, then the cashier said that, sir, my friend came, I have given 5 lakhs to him. He will return around 230. So this is what the cashier did. That means, yes, lend the cash during the office hours to the party. So this is the thing that the cashier is doing daily. This information is being given to me by the substaff of the bank. So after that, when I found this and when I reported this, then the manager has reported the same thing to the general manager inspection. Then he said that first you suspend the cashier, then the cashier is suspended, officer is also suspended. Then after 2 days, the manager is also suspended because he has prevented me in doing the audit. So cash lending during office hours. So if you suspect anything, even you can check the cash at any time. So this is one of the experience that I have got in my audit. That is here, I have said about the shadow balance, that is clearing transaction. If any transaction is done during the shadow balance, one day interest has to be charged. The bankers, they want to help the customer, and the officer has passed the check. The cashier has paid the cash without making any entry in the cash code. When I did the exercise, the manager has objected, cashier has objected, officer has objected. Then after the direction from the general manager, I have checked the cash. There I have found out a shortage of 38 lakhs, but I've got an instrument of 33 lakhs, which are genuine. So there was a shortage of 5 lakhs. When we inquired, the cashier said that he has given 5 lakhs to his friend without any entry, and he said it will come around 230. It is itemology of fraud. This is the nature of the transaction. So cash lending during office hours. This is one of the fraud. Have you got any experience in your practice, sir? Do you have any experience for this? Jaipal sir, have you got any experience? Jitendra Bhatta sir, have you got any experience? Cash lending during office hours?
Sir, I heard this long back, not now.
Okay.
In a bank near in a university, they have a counter. The bank used to have a counter once in a week. They keep the money in the counter itself and deposit into the regular branch on Thursday evening. During this 4-5 days, the manager of the counter cashier and everyone used to lend it for somebody and get some interest. But it is not there now. It was happening. It was a private bank.
Okay. So this is one of the experience that I have got. So even that's why yesterday itself, it's a very good technique that if you got to the concurrent auditor, even you can check the cash at any time. Then there's a scope for this type of fraud, you can find it. Next point is missing notes in the bundle. What is missing notes in bundle? So normally you go to any big bank or anything, there will be huge remittance of cash remitted by the party into the account. Normally, the bankers, cashiers, they will not count the cash. They simply receive the bundle. Then they ask the party to write the phone number on the cash slip. They say every note bundle has got a cash slip. That cash slip, the manager, that is the person who is remitting the cash, he will write his phone number. He will write his phone number. Then the cashier, without counting the cash, he counts only the note. Then he slowly started to give the notes to the other public. The other public, they received the cash and they went away. And normally they believe that the cash bundles are being checked by the cashier. Normally it will not be there. So what they do, if they break open the seal, then and if there is any deficit, that money will not be returned by the bank, because cash told, that is cash bundle should not be break open. If it is not break open and if there is any mistake, then the cashier is responsible. And in few cases that has happened in private sector bank, they without counting the cash, they receive the cash and they disperse the cash. If it is found in future, suppose if anybody found that, sir, there is a shortage of 2 notes in the bundle, what they do, that cashier, he will call the person whose telephone number is written on the slip. Then that guy, he will come and hands over 2 notes. If it is not called, then that 2 notes belong to the property of the staff. See, the customer, normally he will give you a genuine cash. He will give the correct quantity of cash, but he will remove some 2 notes from the bundle, and he has to write his telephone number. And in case if there is any shortage, then the officer has to call only him. So he will go to the bank and he will remit that 2 notes. If it is not called, then it's a fraud. It's a fraud, and the benefit goes to the staff. So they remove some notes in the middle. So my advice is, if there is such thing, you have to count the bundle, then only you have to count the notes in the bundle, then only you have to leave the cash counter. So this is also another type of fraud that is there in the bank. This fraud is committed by the staff of the customer, and due to the negligence of bank official, there is a scope to do the fraud. Missing notes means the mistake is committed by the fraud, mistake is committed by the staff of the customer, and then the staff of the customer knew that the cashier is a negligent person, he will not count the cash. And if he distributed the cash to the public and innocently or ignorantly they break open the bundle, the bankers, they will not release the cash. So this is also another type of fraud that is going on in the banks. So my suggestion is, if there is any other bank's cash is found in the cash counter, inside the cash vault, suppose if you are going for IOB audit, all the IOB cash slip should be there inside the cash vault. Instead of that, instead of IOB cash bundle, if there is another bank, say Bank of Baroda's cash bundle is there, that is a presumption that the cashier has not counted that bundle, because he has to remove Bank of Baroda slip and he has to put the IOB slip. If that is not there, then that means he has not counted the bundle. So if there is any fraud, then it will be very difficult to identify. Okay. Posting in wrong account. That is posting in wrong account. What is it? So here a person wanted money. You have gone there and you have remitted money. The manager, he pretty well knew that this person will not take care of the money till it is some 2 to 3 months. He never checked the account. What the cashier do? He posted the money. He has received the money, put the chopper, but instead of posting to A account, he will post the money to B account. And he allowed the B account to make the rotation. Sometimes the B account may be a relative party transaction, and the cashier has posted to B account. And after 2 months, after 1 month, the money has to be recredited to the party account, saying that wrong credit, wrong debit. So this is also another type of fraud. That is, you have gone to the bank, you have remitted the money. Instead of posting the money into your account, the officer has purposely posted the money to someone's account. It may be his relatives. In case if 2 days after or 3 days after, if you go to the bank and if you say that, sir, money has not given credit to my account, then the officer, he pretty well know that the money has gone to somebody's account. Then he will debit that party's account and give credit to your account. So this is also another type of fraud. See here, this has happened in my client case. He has been sanctioned around 45 lakhs loan, and the officer, what he did, he wanted money. So without the consent of the borrower, because he helped the borrower to get the money, and without the consent of the borrower, what he did, he has debited 5 lakhs and has given credit to his personal account directly. So without the knowledge of the party, he has debited party's account 5 lakhs loan account and has given the credit to his personal account. And he has informed the party that, sir, I have transferred 5 lakhs from your account to my account. I will return after 3 days. Then that party has immediately called me and said, sir, this has happened in this bank. Why you made me to get a loan from this bank? So he started to question me. Then immediately I went to the manager and said, sir, if I make the complaint, this officer job will be in trouble. So within no minutes, what he did, this officer, what he did, he has again debited somebody's account and he has given credit to his personal account. From his personal account, he has returned the money to my client's account. So this type of fraud, that is posting in wrong accounts, that is debiting borrower account and crediting the staff account. And if anybody objected, once again, this staff has, since he has got the access, he will debit some party's account, give credit to his personal account. From his personal account, the loan, that is borrower account, is debited. So in this manner, they are doing such thing. So you have to see at the time of verification of borrower account whether the money withdrawn is for the genuine purpose or not. This is called as posting in wrong account. Your money may be given credit to somebody's account, and the officers may behave that the party's money can also be taken to the account of the or relative party of the officer. So this type of frauds are also there in the bank, and this you can find only there is any complaint made by the borrower. Misuse of sensitive stationeries. This is a very, very interesting case, I'll tell. So unissued demand drafts are there. See, whenever you go to the bank, you can find unissued DD. Unissued DDs are there. So I have checked it's all called as securities. It is also called as securities. And when you see, when there are unissued DDs, you have to see the bundles. But normally, let us take this is the DDs. And if there is any shake, if there is any money, any DD has been taken, say, uh, if anything is taken, there's a gap here, just like this, there's a gap. So if you remove this, the serial, that is this arrangement, this alignment will get a shake. Then when I test checked the unissued DD, I found in one of the DD book, there is some fold inside the DD book. Then I opened that DD book and found that one DD is missing. One DD it was missing. Then I reported this to the manager, and the manager has called the head office. Sir, is there any debit of this DD? Then the head office has confirmed within half an hour that, sir, this DD instrument was encashed at Bangalore. That is, I have gone the audit at Salem, but this DD was encashed at Bangalore. That is, the officer who was in charge of the room, he has tagged one DD and he has filled the DD, and even he has affixed his own signature because he has got the power to issue the DD. He has encashed 80,000 and he has sent the same thing to the collection at Bangalore and he has encashed it. When I reported this under the fraud, and the officer, he was dismissed, he was suspended, later on he was dismissed from service. So you have to see, is there any misuse of sensitive stationeries? So each and every area is fraud prone. So I'm just sharing my experience in fraud. And next, that means it's a clear indication that you have to see the unissued DD, and if there is any disturbance in the alignment, you have to go and see whether all the leaves are intact or not. This is the advice that I want to give to you. Next one is technology related frauds. So you know that there are a lot of technology because that is misusing your one password by another password, and even a lot of frauds will take place due to the technology, because sometimes the seniors, they don't know how to do the fraud, how to do the system operation, they do them fraud. So technology related frauds are there, and deposit related fraud. This deposit related frauds I'll deal in separately in another slide, and advanced portfolio fraud, that also I'll deal separately. And now I am going to touch the deposit frauds. Normally we are seeing only the advances, we are not seeing the deposits. What are the deposit related frauds that you have to know? I will touch few frauds in deposit related frauds. One is matching deposit and subsidy. Here, I think I have not discussed the matching deposit. So here, that is credit of subsidy account. Yesterday we have discussed front-end subsidy and back-end subsidy. Normally, we are not seeing the loan open during the year and closed during the year. So here, this has happened in one of the national banks where I have gone for the statutory audit. There, the manager, what he did, he has asked the customer to make a deposit of 51,000, because the manager, he wanted to sanction a loan amount of 1 lakh to the public under the THOTCO scheme, that is Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe scheme. There are something around 55 parties are there. He wanted to release 55 loans to the THOTCO team, THOTCO group, so that he will fulfill the government norms. So the manager, he also wanted to take the business very safely. What he did, he requested the party to make a payment of 51,000 rupees in his account. That is a THOTCO party. Let us say I am the THOTCO party. I am a borrower. The manager requested me to deposit 51,000 into my SB account. This is one portion. And the government has given the subsidy of 50,000 to the bank. It's a back-end subsidy. It is not a front-end subsidy. It is a back-end subsidy. It is not a front-end subsidy. The government fund also has come to the bank to the tune of 50,000. And there is a party has remitted 51 lakhs, 51,000. Then this loan, there is a manager has sanctioned 1 lakh rupee loan to the party. That is to me. Let us say I am the thoughtful person. I am the borrower. The bankers, they have given 1 lakh to me. I have remitted 51,000 in my own cash, and the government has paid 50,000. When banker is giving 1 lakh, bankers are not at loss. Correct? Bankers are not at loss. Then what he did, today he has given the loan. Tomorrow, what he did, he has transferred the money of 50,000 rupees from the SB account to the loan account, and he has adjusted the subsidy of 50,000 to the loan account. He has closed the loan. So this is a modus operandi. That is, he has requested the party to make a remittance of 51,000 into the account. That is matching deposit. Here the subsidy of 50,000 has come. So the bankers now they are having 1 lakh 1,000 in under their control. Now bankers they are giving 1 lakh DD to the customer. I want only 1 lakh amount. I have taken the money. That is borrower has taken the money, and the manager next day what he did, he has transferred 50,100 rupees, 50,100. That is 100 rupees towards interest. He has transferred 50,100 rupees from the SB account of the borrower to the loan account, and he has transferred 50,000 subsidy money to the loan account. He has closed the loan account. Then when I went for the audit, I found that why there is a debit in subsidy account immediately on receipt. Then I have gone through the subsidy sanction letter. I found that it's a back-end subsidy. So back-end subsidy has to be adjusted only at the year end and not immediately on the sanction of the loan. So when I inquired this, then they say that, sir, there is no other course, sir. We have to help the customers indirectly. I have to see that the government schemes are fulfilled. Then I said that, sir, it is a back-end subsidy. You have got no right to adjust towards a loan. And also I used one word, sir, you have helped the party to square the government funds. You have helped the party to square the government funds. So that means you have helped the party to defraud the government funds. So it is a fraudulent transaction. I am going to cover this point under the fraud. Then what he immediately said, sir, I have acted as per the instruction given by the regional manager. As I have acted this type of transaction based on the regional manager instruction. Then I asked the manager to give the letter for the same, and he has given the letter. Sir, this loan I have dispersed as per the instruction given by the regional manager. He has given a letter. Now I am having the letter. Then I call the regional manager, who is also very close to me in my area. So then I called RM regional manager and narrated everything. Then I said that, sir, I am going to classify this transaction under the fraud. Since the manager has given a letter saying that he has acted according to your directions, I am going to include your name in the fraud report. Then that manager, that RM has got wild, sir, no, Ravindran, you just wait for 10 minutes or that is wait for 2 hours or one. He said, I wait for 1 hour. I will come to the branch. So within 1 hour, he has come to the branch and has gone through all the transaction. Then they found that it is a fraud. And he told me, sir, I never given any instruction like that. I don't know why he has given the letter. Then I said, okay, it is your lookout, because since the manager has given the letter, you have to give answer to the head office. Then later on, he made a request, and what he did, sir, this is not related to me. So he has also given a letter. RM has also given a letter that I have not given any instruction. I have not given any instruction to him. Then this is purposely the manager wanted to do some mistake. He has done it. So I am not responsible. I am not responsible for this type of transaction. This is the letter that I received from the regional office, regional manager. Then after that, what I did, I recorded both the transactions and reported under the fraud. And on seeing that, the regional manager under his powers, he suspended the branch manager. And later on, he was also, since he has made a complaint against RM, he was also transferred. And I don't know whether he has been reinstated or not. So this is the effect of audit. And this is called as matching deposit with the subsidy. So whenever you are seeing the subsidy account, you have to see where the debit goes. That is the credit of subsidy is there, and where the credit goes. Sorry, it's not debit. Where the debit subsidy and credit which account, you have to go and analyze. Here, I want to tell one important thing. You have to see the loans open during the year and closed during the year. But in audit, we are not seeing the loans open during the year and closed during the year. Other than the jewels, if there is any transactions, you have to see whether there are loans sanctioned during there, and if the loans are closed, you have to ask why the loans are closed, why they have sanctioned the loan, why they have closed the loan. That point also you have to see. This is the experience with this type of fraud. Next point is change of photos LTI. See, this is also another opening card mistake. So normally we are seeing the opening cards. Whenever there is any opening card, the borrower has to fill the application, and his photo has to be affixed on the application. But it is a left thumb impression of a lady. That is, it's a illiterate lady has made the deposit at the bank. This is a illiterate lady that she has deposited at the bank, and the photo has to be, instead of affixing the photos are stapled. Photo of the borrower are stapled, because if there is any signature, you can verify the signature. Here the photos are stapled. Then a new manager has come into the branch. Then there is the peon of the branch. What he did, he brought one lady, and what he did, he has taken the photograph of the lady and removed the original depositor photo, original lady photo, depositor photo, and he has stapled this new lady's photo in the application. Then he has handed over the application to the manager, and this lady made a request to the manager that, sir, I have lost my deposit receipt. Kindly issue me the duplicate deposit receipt. So the manager, on seeing the photo, he has received duplicate fixed deposit receipt. Then after 2 days, this lady, that is who has come to the branch, she has come there and she has surrendered the fixed deposit receipt, and she has taken the money. And the money has not been given credit to the SB account. It is only 15,000 rupees. She has taken the money on cash and she has left the branch. After the closure of deposit, again the original, that is the deposit receipts or applications, have gone only to the substaff or peon. What this peon did, he has removed the that is present lady's photo and stapled the old lady's photo. So that is, one photo is removed, new photo is affixed, and based on that, duplicate deposit receipt is issued. After the payment of the deposit, again it has gone to the peon, and the peon has removed the new photo and again stapled the original photo. After 1.5 years, the original deposit holder, she has come to the branch. Sir, I want to close the deposit. After 1.5 years, then he realized that there was a mistake. So my advice here is, in case if there are any photos that is there that you can see in the deposit application, that photo has to be affixed and should not be stapled. The photos have to be affixed and should not be stapled. This is also one type of fraud that I came through my audit career. Next one is transactions in dormant account. What is a transaction in dormant account? An account is said to be operative when daily transactions took place. Sometimes, due to some other reason, if there are no transactions, then after the end of the 1 year from the last transaction, if there was no transaction for the next 1 year, then the account is being transferred to the dormant account. Then after the end of 1 year from the dormant account, it will be transferred to inoperative account. So 1 year in dormant account, 1 year in inoperative account. If there are any transactions that are being carried out in the dormant transaction, dormant accounts, then that has to be approved by the branch manager. So here in few branches, so I have noticed this in some 3 branches, that is the officer himself has permitted the transaction in the dormant account and the money has been withdrawn from the dormant account. But the officer, what he did, he never reversed the entry from dormant account to alive account. Still it was there. So when you happen to see any transaction in the dormant account, you have to see whether whether the transactions are approved by the manager or not. Here, the officer, without the knowledge of the manager, he has done the transaction in dormant account. So the advice here is there will be a fraud in dormant account. So you have to go to the dormant account and inoperative account. You have to see, is there any debit there in the dormant account or is there any debit there in the inoperative account? If that is there, you have to see from the fraudulent angle. If there is any transaction that has taken place in the dormant account or fraudulent or any inoperative account, those accounts have to come alive. Those accounts have to come alive. Then only transactions have to be permitted. Here, it is not permitted. So the officer has continued to carry out the transaction. This is called as transaction in dormant account. Deposit less amount and get huge deposit to figure. So this has happened in the in one of the private sector banks where I have gone for the concurrent. That bank is a private sector bank. In that bank, they have got a circular that if the customer maintains 12 lakhs deposit, 12 lakhs deposit in a bank, he is entitled to get a concession in the service charges to the tune of 6 lakhs. That is, up to 6 lakhs, he can get the concession. So in order to get the benefit, what the manager did, he has created a dummy entries. He has said that the party has come and remitted 50 lakhs into account. And in that 50 lakhs, he has made a loan of 37.5 lakhs. So for deposit of 50 lakhs, 37.5 lakhs have been given as a loan, that is loan against deposit. And the balance of 12.5 lakhs, they say that it is a margin towards getting the concession.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in the FD fraud,
Yes,
in
sir.
the FD fraud, it is be given to account. No, now FD is closed and given to account. Account holder has to withdraw with their checks or ATM card. Then how it is now? It is in present days it is fraud.
Yes, sir. But it is less than 20,000. It's a cooperative bank. It is a cooperative bank. In that they pay the cash payment. This has happened some 15 years back.
Okay, so now it is not possible. No, now in these days not possible.
Sir, now it is not possible. Now it is possible.
Yeah.
See, my experience here is the photos in the deposit application should be affixed. It should not be stapled.
But now it is not relevant now, sir. In present scenario, we are given the credit to deposit credit is given to account holder only. Account has to be debited.
You have to give credit only to SB account and no cash transactions are allowed. That is the present scenario.
So now it is very less in such a case. Fraud is very less in such a case.
No, sir. Thing is, impersonation will be there.
Yes, impersonation is there. Impersonation is there.
So the suggestion here is, you are in the application, the photo should be affixed. It should not be stapled.
Okay, even it is affixed in the they are verifying the account master, no account master. Now it is CBS environment. It is there in the photo, no account to photo.
Yes.
Even it is affixed or not is not the. I think it is not relevant for this time.
Sir, I do agree with your reply. Nowadays, it is not possible. What you are saying is today's rule. But I said this is the 15 years old rule.
Okay.
The final suggestion is, that is in the application, the result is, since the photos have been stapled, there was a fraud. They removed the old photo and they stapled the new photo. After the receipt of money, they again removed the new photo and stapled the old photo. This has been done by the substaff of the branch. It is only an experience. Present times it is not possible because you have to give credit only to the SB account and not to any other account. Correct, sir? Okay, next thing is see here in that private sector bank, what he did. So he has got 50 lakhs deposit and simultaneously without any, it's a cash entry. When I noticed the transaction, I found that there was a cash entry of 50 lakhs and he has remitted 50 lakhs into SB account and it has been transferred as deposit. And in that deposit receipt, he has transferred 37.5 lakhs as the loan against deposit. And there is a circular. There is a circular at the bank. They say that if the party is having 12 lakhs deposit, he is entitled to get a concession of 6 lakhs. He is entitled to get a concession of 6 lakhs. So what they did, so the remaining amount of 37.5 lakhs, that is 12.5 lakhs, he has taken as margin, and in that they started to give concession to the party. So when I noticed that, then I said that, sir, if this 12.5 lakhs is the encumbered portion, so you can have a deposit of unencumbered portion, then only the party is entitled to get the concession. But in order to help the party, what they did, they have transferred this that is 12.5 lakhs of encumbered portion to the deposit concession benefits. And it is a fraud. It's a fraud since they pass only the cash entries in the account. Say there was a cash of 50 lakhs. The cash entry is being made, and they are given credit to the to the SB account, and they immediately debit the loan account as given credit to the party account. The party has brought only 12.5 lakhs into the account. So this 12.5 lakhs, they fabricated 50 lakhs as deposit. They fabricated 37.5 lakhs as loan. So this is also another type of fraud. To get the concession, the manager, that is, they did this thing. It is a window dressing. It is a window dressing. I found out this in my concurrent audit. The modus operandi, I'll tell, the party has brought only 12.5 lakhs to the bank. And in order to increase the business, he called the cashier. You do one thing, you put 50 lakhs cash receipt, and this is being given credit to the party sub. Then they made a deposit of 50 lakhs. In that 50 lakhs, he has deposited, he has sanctioned 37.5 lakhs as loan. And this deposit of 37.5 lakhs has been withdrawn and given back to the cashier. So 50 lakhs has been accommodated. So this type of accommodation deposit receipts will also be there in few banks. It will not be available in all banks. This is a type of fraud I have found out in my concurrent audit. Deposit less amount, get huge deposit figure to get the concession. And nomination irregularities. So here, this is also another impersonation activities. See, this has happened in my it has happened in my, it's not in statutory audit, it has happened during the stock audit. I have gone for a stock audit, but it is not happened directly to me, but this has happened during my audit period. So here, my son has got a loan. Son has got a loan of say 25 lakhs from a bank. And the manager asked the collateral security, and the son has produced a collateral security, and the security, it has belonged to his mother. The security, it has belonged to your mother, to his mother. Then he has brought a lady, say that she is my mother. She is my mother, and he has handed over the document to the bank, and he has availed the loan. So 2 years, the transactions went on smoothly. Suddenly, his account has become NPA. Then after that, the manager has issued 13 notice, that is under SARFAESI, he has issued notice to the lady, that is mother of the borrower. On seeing the letter, one lady came to the branch, say that, sir, you have issued a recovery notice to me, but before you lend the money to the my son, I have already made a police complaint that I have already lost the document. Since you are holding the document, you have to return the document. She has produced the FIR copy. Then he has seen the nominee photo. So there is a nominee application. He has seen the nominee photo. That is a guarantor photo and nominee photo. And they say that, so now in that guarantor photo, he found that some lady's photo is being affixed. So that means the son, he has stolen the document of his mother and brought some lady as the mother and has availed the loan. So here, the mistake that is being committed by the banker is that banker has not verified whether that lady is the real mother. One, he has not gone through the KYC of the guarantor. So still the case is going on because the banker say that no, it is an impersonation done by the borrower. So it amounts to fraud. Even police has also arrested that borrower. Even the lady's photo, the lady who has come as mother also, she was also arrested, and the case, it was still going on. So you have to be very, very careful whether the branch has verified the KYC of the nominees or KYC of the guarantors. This is the experience that I want to say with reference to deposit frauds. That is nomination or guarantor irregularities. Next case is accepting NRE deposits through intermediate sanction loan, close the deposit after obtaining the loan. So this is also very interesting case. This is also very interesting case. This has happened in my area. So there is a charter accountant. I don't want to reveal his name. There's a charter accountant. What he do, he has got a lot of connection with the NRE people. And previously, the bankers say that, sir, if you make a deposit of 1 crore, I will sanction 1 crore to you as loan. So what he did, sir, I wanted at the time, tanker lorries are very famous because they want the lorries to be used for to carry the fuel to the Hindustan Petroleum or Bharat Petroleum or all oil companies. So what they did, he has made arrangement with the NRI team. Sir, if you make a deposit at this bank, then we will give you addition of 1%. We will give you addition. This auditor, this chartered accountant has entered into NRI group, and they say that, sir, if the deposit is standing only in your name. The only favor is you have to make the deposit only to that bank which I have given the reference. So yes, they came and deposited something around 30 lakhs, 35 lakhs, 40 lakhs, and immediately this auditor has paid 1% to the depositor. And the banker, on seeing the NRE deposit, they sanctioned the tanker loans to the party. After 10 days, again, this auditor has approached NRI, sir, you have to go and close the deposit. You have to go and close the deposit, and you have to transfer the deposit to this bank. And there is one provision, you should not ask the NRI, that is, bankers have got no right to say to the NRI, we will not close the deposit because it is not a lien deposit. It is a free deposit. Here the role is the deposit. There is an NRI deposit that has been deposited into the bank. Equivalent to the deposit amount, the bankers, they have sanctioned the loan. Now the lorry has come, a loan has been created. After that, this auditor has requested the NRI to close the deposit and transfer the deposit to some other bank. There also he has adopted the same technique. So he has received, once again he paid 1% to the NRI. Then after 3 rotations, then he said, okay, sir, you close your deposit and transfer to the bank which you want. So thereby he has received money from the tanker owners in the form of fee. Suppose he would have, I think I heard that I have heard that he has received 5% on the loan and he has paid 1% to the depositor. Thereby, he has benefited 4%, and 3 rotations he made, and the loan amount is more than 70 crores. So, if there is any closure of NRI deposits, and you have to see whether it's a genuine closure of NRI deposits, or whether this deposit is directly related to the loans also. This is one type of fraud that has been played by the customers and even by charter accountants also. One charter account, he did this type of mistake. So this is also another deposit related fraud. So far we have seen few deposit related frauds. Now I am going to say about the advance related fraud. Here I want to share very I'm going to teach you how to do fraud. This is a basic thing that I want to tell. How to do fraud. This is a major experience that I have got. See, how to get loan from 3 banks based on one document. This is one thing. Here, one of my, this has happened in my statutory audit. This has happened in my statutory audit. Father has availed a loan from a bank. Let us take this is a survey number 57. This is a survey number 57. In this survey number 57, this father has got a loan from a bank. Yes, he has been sanctioned some 25 lakhs. This has happened 15 years back and not now. Present times it is not possible. Even present time also it is possible, but not to the maximum extent. But I can say that present time it is not possible. This has happened some 15 years back. I went to a statutory audit. I found that one document, and when I inquired, the borrower said that, sir, my father has availed a loan from bank. Let us say this, it is a survey number 57. It is a survey number 57. Based on the survey number 57, he has availed a loan from one bank. After 3 months, the father has divided his land into 4 parts. Father has divided his land into 4 parts and has gifted the property to his 4 sons. And he has gifted the property. In the gift deed, there is one word it is coming. In case, since I am holding some other property, I have not handed over the original property to you. I have handed over only the Xerox copy of the document to you and copy of the document to you. This sentence you can find from any gift settlement. So here, when I went for the audit, this 57 survey number 57 is being divided into 4 parts. 57 bar 1, 2, 3, and 4. 57 bar 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, parent document is survey number 1, 57. For that, the father has availed the loan from one bank. And this land is being divided into 4 parts. 57 bar 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I went for the audit, I have gone for the land of survey number 57 bar 3. So normally, if there is any gift settlement, you have to ask what happened to the original deed. This point you have to ask. What happened to the original deed? When I asked a question, then the son said, sir, my father has availed a loan from, say, X bank, and now he has given the partition deed. I have availed the loan from this bank. Yes, ignorantly, he has accepted the mistake. So that means the original subdivision of my original survey number of 57 is being bifurcated into 4 parts, and this third son, he has got a loan. So all the 4 properties, all the 4 sons, they avail the loan from the bank. So the basic mistake is, in the gift settlement, you have to inquire what happened to the original deed. When you apply for the encumbrance of survey number 57 bar 1, you will get only nil encumbrance, because the encumbrance is only for the survey number 57 and not for 57 bar 1. Thereby, all the 4 sons, they have got the loan. So in this manner, I can tell that if I have got one document, I can get loan from 5 banks. So this is one of the experience, major experience. But to identify this as fraud, I have taken almost 1.5 days because I have to prove everything. Then only I have reported. This is one thing. And second thing is, second experience. What I want to say is, I have gone for a inspection or as an inspection auditor. I went to a bank. Then as it's an internal inspection, previously they have given this work to the charter accountants. So I have got the appointment. I went for the inspection. This is there near Yatapur. This is there near Yatapur. Yatapur is a place of the borrowing, place of the bank, and it is near to my Salem. I went there. I did the audit. Then I requested the manager, sir, we will go for inspection. We went for inspection, and the borrower name is Buvar Arasamy. The borrower name is Buvar Arasamy. I went for inspection. Then the Buvar Arasamy, the borrower has received me well and has even given me tender coconut, and I have seen the records. All the records are intact. The unit was functioning. I have seen the electricity card also. So the thing is, you have to see the electricity card, whether the unit is functioning or not. So I have seen the electricity card, everything was there, everything is perfect. Then after that, I came to the branch and reported that the unit was functioning. So after 3 months, I went to a revenue audit for another bank. Revenue audit for another bank. There, when I checked the account, there I found the word of Booragasamy Yethapu. Booragasamy Yethapu. Then it pricks my mind. Why this person has come here? He has already got the loan from, say, Yetapur. Then I called the manager of Yetapur and asked the manager, sir, Booragasamy has availed a loan from you, whether he has closed the loan or not. He said, yes. He has not closed the loan. It is still with me. Then I asked him, sir, what type of collateral security he has given? Then the manager said that, sir, he has given me the partition deed. So I asked him, is it a which partition deed? He said, the partition deed belonged to Booragasamy as produced. That is, original partition deed is with the Yatapur Bank. Then I have seen the title deed of Booragasamy of the another branch. I found that it is the first copy of partition deed of his brother. Suppose anybody has written any partnership deed, the original deed is with the elder brother, and the remaining deeds, that is copy of the deed, it will be given to the brothers. So in that deed, they mentioned that the original deed is with the elder brother, first copy is with the second brother, first copy with the second brother, second copy with the third brother, and the third copy is the fourth brother. In that, they will write the partition deed. So here, all the partition deed copies are with the Booragasamy. He has not handed out the copy of the partition deed to his brother. That means all his brothers, they believed Booragasamy. So based on his own schedule, he has got a loan from Yatapur Bank. Then at Salem, at one of the branches where I have gone for revenue audit, I noticed that the Booragasamy again, he has taken the loan based on the brothers partition deed, based on the production of brothers title deed to the banker. The advocate has given clear opinion saying that yes, he can create the equitable mortgage. At that time, there was no concept of memorandum of deposit of title deeds, and now it was there, and he has availed the loan from the branch at Salem. Then I told the manager, sir, can we go for inspection for this unit? Then the manager said, sir, you have come for a revenue audit. We need not go for inspection. Then I narrated the incident. Then the manager, he took me to the spot. Then on seeing me, that Booragasamy, he ran away. Because I have gone along with the new manager and not with the Yatapur Bank manager. He knew that I have come with the Yatapur manager. So he thought that I have identified the fraud. This is one. And I introduced both the managers of Salem Bank and Yatapur Bank, and they came to the conclusion, and both of them have recalled the loan. After 3 months, this is the second. After 3 months, I went to another branch, another bank as a stock auditor, as a stock auditor. There I found that the same Sami name. He mortgage is second son's partition, second brother's partition date, and he has availed the loan for his schedule. That is, he has not changed the schedule of Sami. He has given only the documents of his brother to the bank to create a EM, equitable mortgage, in the same Sami name. There also I narrated this to the manager, and when he went to the same Yatapur Bank and as well as Salem Bank, and then the manager found that he did a mistake. That means for one document, he has got a loan from Yatapur as well as Salem, and also in another branch of Salem. This is the third loan. He has got three brothers. So that's the third document. Then I went for the credit audit of another bank. Credit audit of another bank. Again, the Sami name I found. There also I found that he has availed the loan in his schedule. That is, based on the partition date, duplicate copy of the partition date, he has got a loan from 4 banks. That is, one is in his original name, and 3 by using his brother's title date, brother's partition date. But only one thing is, he has availed the loan by creating equitable mortgage only the Sami schedule and not his brother's schedule. So my advice here is, if any loan is being sanctioned based on the partition deed, you have to see whether the partition deed which has given as collateral security actually belong to the borrower or not. Then this is the one incident. After that, I went for a statutory audit. See, it is the fate of Sami. I went to a statutory audit. There I found it's a limited company. It's a limited company. Say it is Athu Steels Private Limited. That bank has sanctioned 4 crores. That bank has sanctioned 4 crores to this limited company. And I have seen the name of the Sami. And in that company, the Sami is the managing director. And all his 4 sons are the director of the company. So there he has got 3 sons. All the 3 sons are the directors of the company. So managing director is Sami, 3 sons are directors. Then I got wild. Okay, we have to do that. We have to verify the documents very carefully. When I verify the document, it's a different document. Okay. But when I verified the document, I found a code seal. I found a code seal on the back side of the document. See, when you rotate, when you see this, when there is any code seal, if it is there, then that means this document has gone to your court. Then I asked the manager, sir, have you inquired this point? He was a new manager. Then he said, sir, I have no records. So I kindly give me 1 month time so that I will give answer to your question. What this manager did, he has gone to the Yatapur. He has gone to Yatapur and he inquired with the local bank. And the local bank said that, sir, this document, it was belonging to us. We have submitted this to the court. The loan is not closed. It was not closed. But I don't know how this document has come to you. So that means he did some adjustment and he has brought the original document to this bank where they have availed 4 crores. Then what has happened? Yes, once again, this bank also recalled the loan because it is a fraudulent activity, because he has done some mischief and brought the document which belonged to some other bank and he has submitted here. This is the fraud that he has committed. So since I was there in almost all banks, I found this type of fraud. So my sincere advice to here is, if any loan is sanctioned based on the copy of the partition deed, you have to see what happened to original. If any loan is being sanctioned based on the settlement deed or gift settlement deed, you have to ask for the original deed. This is the concept that I have to see. If you are not seen and if there is any fraud, that you cannot find. Next area is loan against debt stock. Loan against debt stock. This is also another experience which I have got in my concurrent audit. This is another very big experience that I have got in my concurrent audit. And I want to say here the experience. So it is a key loan. It is a key loan. Key loan means no collateral security will be obtained by the bankers. The bankers, they sanction the loan based on the stock that you have kept inside the loan. And the keys are under the control of the bankers. Keys are under the control of the bankers. This unit was, it is a 5 crores loan. This bank has sanctioned as a key loan. And this banker has given 5 crores without security. I was there, I was there concurrent auditor. I requested manager, sir, can we go for inspection? Then manager, what he did, he called the borrower and asked the borrower to arrange the car. He has said, okay, sir, we will go in the afternoon. Okay. In the afternoon, we went there. We went there. There I found it's a yarn business. It's a yarn business. In the afternoon, we went to the unit and I have entered the unit. I found that there are a lot of number of bundles are inside. They say that it is worth about 7 crores. Okay. It is 7 crores. Bankers, they have sanctioned 5 crores. Okay. But when I found the year of manufacturing of the bundle, it was say, for example, if I am going audit for the year ending 2020, let us take it is 2020, and the stock, in the stock, I noticed that the year of manufacturing, it was 1999, 2002, 2003, 2008. So that is the stocks which are kept inside all are dead stock. Because one thing you have to know, whenever you are going for an inspection, you should know what is the quality of the stock that you have put. Yarn has got a quality of 6 months only. Yarn stock, if anybody lends against a yarn stock and the yarn stiffness, it will be there only for 6 months. After that, you will not get that much of stiffness. It will get only a deteriorating quality. There I found that the bundles manufacturing year, it was 2003, 4, 5. That is some 7 years back, 10 years back. All the bundles have been kept inside the key godown and they have availed 5 crores. Then I proved that all are dead stock. But I want to confirm the quantity. What I did, I climbed on the bundle and I have fallen down. I have climbed because there is no strength to the bundle. So after climbing some 4 bundles, I have fallen down. Even I have got my hands broken. I have got my hands broken. So this is the way in which you have to handle the dead stock. Year of manufacturing is very much important when you go for the stock. That means they have availed the loan based on the dead stock. They have availed the loan based on the dead stock. This is one. After 1 month, I have gone. Now I am having car. I am going by car. Previously, I have to go only by bus. So from Salem, it was an auto. So I traveled by bus because I have to go to next area, Kalakurchi. That is another area, something around 100 kilometers from Salem. So when I travel by bus, I turned my neck and saw the building because we have gone for inspection. Then I found that initially the stock is hypothecated to X Bank, where I was the concurrent auditor. Later on, I found that there was a board of Y Bank. That means for the same stock, he has availed the loan from 2 banks. So immediately I got down from a bus and went to the unit and found that there was a hypothecation board of some Y Bank. Then I called the X Bank manager, and that Y Bank manager is also a very close friend of mine. I also called the Y Bank manager, sir, can you come to Appur? Because as per my audit, I have visited on behalf of the X Bank. At the time of my visit, I found X Bank board. Now it is Y Bank board. Have you given the loan to this party? Then the manager said, yes, sir, I have given the loan. Then what about the keys? He said there was a backyard. From the backyard, they are entering into the unit. So the unit has got, that is Godown has got two doors. One key is with the one manager and another key is with the another bank manager. So thereby for the same stock, for the, and that too for the debt stock, he has availed loan from two banks. So this is the experience that I have got against, that is loan against debt stock. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to see what is the life of the stock, what is the quality of the stock. That point also you have to bear in mind. This is the third experience with reference to advance. Then sanction of loan by field officer and the receipt of the loan by him at the village. Here, this has happened in my concurrent audit. Here I want to give one advice to the members. During the audit, if you ask any details, if the officer has refused to give the details, you have to take note of it. Before completion of the audit, you have to once again ask, sir, I asked these files, you are not produced the same thing, same for my verification. Please produce those files. If the field officer or if the officer has not produced those files, then you have to be specifically covered in your report. You have to specifically cover in my report. Here, this has happened in one of the nationalized banks. I went to the bank. There is a manager, he was on leave. The field officer was only there. Then I asked the field officer, please produce the following files. So he has produced all the files except some 7 files, Then I asked these 7 files. Then the field officer said, no, sir, all these 7 files are under the control of the manager. Then I have taken note of it. All the missing files, I have taken note of it. And I have what the assistant manager, what the field officer said, even I have taken note of it. After some time, after 3 days, the manager he came from leave, and I went to the manager. And asked him, and went to the manager and told him, sir, these 7 files are with you. So please hand over. This is the reply that has been given by the field officer. Then the manager said, no, I am not having any copy. Every files are under the control of the field officer. Then in the afternoon, the field officer, he went on leave. Then after that, the manager, what he did, he has sent a substaff to the field officer's wife. One second, sir. So here, the field officer, he went on leave. Then this manager has sent his substaff to the wife, substaff to the field officer's house. Then the substaff has asked the wife to hand over the 7 files. The wife, she didn't know the actual seriousness. She has simply handed over the file to the substaff. Then when I go through the file, I found that there was no borrower. All the loans have been sanctioned by the field officer through some other person, through some benami persons. And the manager has called all the borrower, and it's all aged ladies, all something around 70 years, 75 years, all the old ladies. The manager has sanctioned the field officer has sanctioned the loan. Then after that, the loan, it was sanctioned some 2 years back, and the loan repayment is done only by the field officer. That means he has taken the loan. That is, field officer has taken the loan in the name of the old ladies, and he has given some 1,000 rupees to the old lady, and he has taken per loan at say 2 lakhs per borrower. So for 7 loans, it works out to 14 lakhs. That is, 14 lakhs have been taken by the field officer. So here, they later on, when the manager inquired, he found that it was a fraud done by the field officer. It was a fraud done by the field officer. then the suggestion here is whenever you ask for any details, you have to take note of it. You have to take note of it in the ledger, in your note. If the same is not produced even before completion of the audit or at the time of completion of the audit, you have to report that. When, as I requested the manager to produce those files, there I found that that field officer has committed a fraud of 14 lakhs, and these 14 lakhs have been taken by the officer in his personal name, and the loans have been repaid only by the officers and not by anyone. And the manager confirmed the transaction. He was also dismissed from service. So this is an advice that we want to tell to you. If any documents you have asked and if it is not produced by the officer, you have to take note of it. Before completion of the audit, you have to ask once again. This is an experience that I have got from this case. Another experience is sanction of the government loans without verification of an. Okay, it's a very, very interesting case, I will tell. This has happened in one of the nationalized banks. Previously, there was one area called IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program. That is, senior members, they knew it, juniors, they don't know it. And it is a government sponsored scheme. So the loan amount goes up to, say, 1 lakh. 1 lakh is the maximum amount they can sanction the loan without any security. And it's a government sponsored scheme. Here, I went for the statutory audit. When I saw those accounts, I found that there was no credit in the loan amount. The loan was sanctioned some 4 years back. Say, some 4 years back. One. Then I have seen something around 2,800 accounts. 2,800 accounts of 1 lakh. 2,800 accounts of 70,000, 50,000, 25,000, 1 lakh. All the loans have been sanctioned to a particular village. So this is the area of, this way you have to do the audit. Where the borrower is. So this 2,800 has been sanctioned to a particular village. And the loan purpose is to buy the musical instruments. So what it created a doubt, because 2,800 loans have been sanctioned to a particular village. Almost in 2,800, 2,700 loans have been sanctioned only to buy the musical instruments. Then it pricked my mind. Then I went to the Panchayat office. And I've gone there and asked, what is the total population of the village? So as once in 10 years, you have to take the census. So I went to the village, I went to the Panchayat office and asked, what is the total population? Then they say that, sir, as per the 2001 census, the total population of the village is 1,100, for example. 1,100. Total village population is only 1,100. The loan sanctioned to that particular village is 2,800 numbers. One. And we'll say some 10% increase in 2 years. So this 1,100 will become 1,210. So let us say even 1,300 members. Among these 1,300, there are old persons, ladies are also there, and children are also there. When we eliminate everything, the net result is that the working men is only 250. In that 250, almost 200 persons are agriculturists. So only 50 people are there. So that means only 50 people are eligible to get the government sponsored loan. But the branch manager has sanctioned 2,800 loan, almost some 12 crores. The total quantity is more than 12 crores. Then I proved that based on the census, based on the evidence, I proved that the entire 2,800 are coming under the category of fraud. Then the banker's instruction is, after the completion of the report, you have to hand over the report. You have to hand over the report to the regional office. I went to the regional office along with my report. And when I handed over the report, that man who was in charge of the balance sheet, he has verified all my reports. He has seen the report. He has turned the page. Then later on, after 10 minutes, he called me, sir, how dare you can classify this account under the fraud? How dare you can classify this loan, this thing under the fraud? My advice to you is, if anybody objected to your audit work, that means something is fishy. I know this. So then, sir, it is not the daring. What it is there, I have reported, and I told him, sir, you are here only to receive my report. You are here not to question me. Then we started to have very big quarrel. Even he started to say in singular language, and even I also used a singular language after that. Then the regional manager from inside the cabin, he came out because of our fight. Then after then that regional manager called me, Ravindran, what is going on? Why you are shouting at him? Then I narrated everything. Then what the regional manager did, he has taken my report inside and he has asked me to come inside his cabin. I went there. Then I narrated everything, and the person who has objected to me, his name, it is Ganapati. The Ganapati is the name. When he objected this, then he asked the question. That is, he asked the Ganapati to go outside, and he has asked me to stay inside his cabin, and he has asked the HR people to come, and he raised only one question: who was sanctioned? Who was there as a manager when this loan was sanctioned? And it was the Ganapati was in charge of the loan department. It was in charge of the branch. So later on, within 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, the RM has analyzed everything and he has immediately suspended the Ganapati. That is because he only did the fraud. So this is the experience that I had. Here I want to tell the advice. That is, my advice is, our system weakness is, you have to see the purpose of the loan and purpose of the loan and borrower's capacity. In this, I have found that there was a fraud to the tune of 32, more than almost it is some 30 crores or 32 crores. I don't remember the exact quantity of the fraud. They have sanctioned the loan and the manager has swindled the money. Because these are the loans which are subject to be written off by the government. Because it is all government sponsored scheme. So the government, they will reimburse 50% of the loan. These are the loans they will write off. So this is also another experience that I have got in the advanced category. And jewel packets, spurious gold and so. So yesterday I was saying, I was said about the slogan of jewel packet verification is touch the packet, sense the packet, feel the packet, and count the packet. Sense, feel, and count. So this has happened in one of the it's a private sector bank. I have gone for statutory audit. The manager asked me when I enter the branch, sir, which area you want to start the audit? I said, sir, first I start with cash verification. Then at present, I'm not interested to do the jewel verification. Right now, I am going for the advanced verification. After 2 hours, I asked the manager, sir, can we do the jewel packet verification? Then the manager said, sir, I have asked you, are you interested to do the jewel packet verification? You said no. So I offered, you are not accepted. So I will not allow you to verify the jewel packets. So again, the advice is, anybody objected to your finding or anybody objected to your audit work, that means something is fishy. This is what I want to say. Wherever there is a fraud, I want to say. Then I call the I call the head office of the bank and narrated everything. Then at the time, you are not having mobile. So you have got only STD facility. You have got only STD facility. I call the head office. Then head office say that no, you have to allow the auditor to do the jewel packet verification. Then I started to verify the jewels. The slogan of jewel packet verification is you have to touch the packet, sense the packet, feel the packet, and count. When I did this exercise, I found that some items are there which is not equivalent to jewelry. I found that it was a stone. It was some stone inside that packet. I asked the manager, sir, can you open this packet? Then the manager immediately said, sir, the permission is given only to count the packets and not to open the packet. Then immediately I called the head office, say that, no, sir, I found something wrong, so I want to open the packet. But the manager refused me to allow to open the packet, kindly instruct them. Again, they gave that, again, the head office team say that, no, you have to open the packet and show the packet. When I opened the packet in the presence of manager, I found that there was a black stone, some that is roadside stone, jelly, blue metal, it was there. Then I told the manager, sir, what is that? Sir, I don't know how the stone has come inside the jewel packets. Then I kept quiet. So that means it was a fraud. Then after verifying some 8 packets, I found the same thing inside in another pack. Then I asked the manager to open that packet. Then the manager said that, sir, the permission is given to open only that packet and not this packet. Again, he started to object. Again, I called the head office. Sir, this is the way in which the manager is permitting. Then the regional office, then the head office people say that, no. If auditors say any packet, you have to open it. Then I opened the same thing with the in the presence of the manager. There also I found a stone inside. Then this type of stones I found in some 12 packets. Then later on I called the head of it. Sir, I have found only a blue metal stone inside the jewel packets. Kindly send a team to verify the entire jewel packets. There they found the fraud to the tune of something around 2.2 crores. Because quantity differs. Even the quantity never tallies with the application and everything. So this is the way in which you are confirmed. It is not only a spurious gold. It is not only a spurious gold. It is also a some stones are inside. Can you please mention a recent Union Bank's fraud? The management called a special focus audit. Union Bank's gold fraud and focus audit. And if you're aware, sorry sir, I will check and tell in the evening. And right now, I am not having knowledge of this type of fraud. One second. If you have got any experience, you can also tell. Ramachandra sir, if you have got any idea about this, you can just highlight the thing. Recent Union Gold fraud, I don't know. Nowadays, all the bankers, what they are doing, once in 3 months, they are doing the gold verification. They are doing the purity verification, quantity verification, everything. And if you got any experience, you can put it in the chat box so that I can also come to know, because I don't know the thing, because where the fraud has taken place, even I don't know, because I have got no idea about this, because I have to surrender. If I don't know, I have to say, I will definitely say, I don't know. And if you got experience, you can put it in the chat box, because that will be known to the other members. Next area of audit is utilizing credit rating, supply bill discounting. This is also another major fraud that I have found out in the audit. So it's a supply bill credit. See, there is this I have found out in the revenue audit. This I have found out in a revenue audit. That the customer has got the credit rating. That is, there is a customer in Salem. He has got a credit rating. It is a spending bill. But they have to buy the yarn from Andhra. They have to buy the yarn from Andhra. The unit is at Salem. So this buyer of the yarn, they have got the concession. He has purchased he has got the very good credit rating. They have got the Salem people, they have got the concession. he has to buy this unit, this company has to buy the yarn from Andhra. Let us take it is from Andhra, a company. So let us take it is from Andhra. So Andhra people, they supplied the material, they supplied the yarn to this Salem team, Salem unit. Then immediately the Salem unit has to make the payment. Salem unit, they have to make the payment. But Salem people, they are not having enough funds. What they did, they purchased the material from Andhra Pradesh, and the Andhra Pradesh team, they have sent a bill. They have sent a bill. And this bill has been discounted by the Salem team with the banker based on their own credit rating. And the bankers, they have sanctioned the loan to this Salem team. And on receipt of the loan, the Salem team has paid the Andhra team, Andhra unit. Salem team is buying yarn from Andhra, modus operandi altered. Salem team is buying yarn from Andhra. For Andhra, the Salem team has to make the payment because Andhra, they are supplying the goods yarn to this Salem team. The Salem team is not having cash. So he has gone to the bank and he has discounted the Andhra bank's bill at their counter, and they have got the material, they have got the loan at concession rate, and this Salem team has made the payment to Andhra. I went for the audit. Then I found that it is a supply bill discounting. It is a supply bill discounting. Who has to discount the bill? It is only the Andhra, that is the seller has to discount the bill and not the buyer. Here the buyer discounted the bill based on the seller's bill. It should not be there because it is a supply bill discounting. Supply bill has to be discounted only by the supplier of the goods and not by the buyer of the goods. That they did some fraud to accommodate the party. And I went further and checked the bills discounted. I found that all the bills of the Andhra are fresh. It's all pure, I mean, it's all newly printed bills. And even you can smell that is paint, printing paint, you can smell. So I proved that it is all fabricated bills. It's all fabricated bills. And this bill has been discounted by the Salem unit and collusion with the branch manager. So I proved that it was a fraud. So this is also another type of fraud which I have found out in my audit. The bill has to be discounted only by the supplier and not by the buyer. The buyer has printed the bills of the supplier and he has discounted the same thing with the banker. On receipt of the money, they have placed an order with the Andhra unit to get the supply. Though Andhra unit is genuine, here the buyer has done the mistake of fabricating the bills of the supplier. So this I have found out in my audit. I have reported, and the income leakage in that transaction alone, I have reported around 48 lakhs income leakage because I have removed the credit rating benefits and calculated interest, and this 48 lakhs I have reported as income leakage. When during my audit of that year, all the auditors of the entire bank, they have reported only leakage of 12 lakhs, and I have reported a leakage of 38 lakhs in that particular batch. So you have to be very, very careful. And in case of supply bill discounting, who has to discount? This point you have to bear in mind. I have got a reply, that is Jayabal said, sister, 5 arrested, gold worth, typos. Okay, this is a news on Union Bank gold loan. Okay, Jayabal sir, I will go through that and know it. Since I don't know this, I will get the details and highlight the same because I have not gone through the news. And I can click and then what is it? in the gold fraud of Union in Telangana, and so 5 people have been arrested. The 5 people arrested by Telangana police are cheating the bank to the tune of 2.91 crores gold by certifying imitation gold as a genuine, include the assistant manager and former branch manager of the gold. That is spurious gold. I think it is a spurious gold. Branch manager of Telangana branch of the bank is stating that one of the gold appraiser, that is, that means they have they made some spurious gold as to avail the loan. It came to our notice that the rumored and one is spurious gold from his friends. Okay, it's nothing but spurious gold. This is what I came.
I think this is the one Mr. Ramachandra is
Yeah.
asking for.
So I have not gone through this case, sir. There
Yeah.
are so many cases of like this, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, only when I know this case, I would have said this, and I have not gone through this. Here, now I am going to concentrate on my presentation. Ramachandra, what he said about, I think this is about the imitation. There is just like gold, there is 1 gram jewelry or some spurious gold, I think it would have availed. And anyhow, I'll go through the case, details later, and I'll cover the same thing in the evening. That is around 7 o'clock, I'll cover the same thing. Utilizing credit rating of supply billing. Then jewel auction. This is also another very interesting case which I found out in one of the banks. I have gone for the concurrent audit, and this concurrent audit I have to give report once in a quarter. It's a quarterly concurrent audit, and the unit that bank was situated at Madurai. I am at Salem. I have to travel something around 5 hours to go to Madurai to do the audit. I used to stay there for 3 days or 4 days. I have seen, we are not seeing the jewel auction performed during the year. We are normally seeing only the jewel loan sanction. We have to see the jewel auction. So in that jewel auction, paper advertisement should be there, and they have to get the regional office permission, and the quantity has to be produced, and the borrower's name should be displayed. And if the borrower has remitted the money before the gold auction, then the auction should not be taken. There I found 2 mistakes in that jewel auction. One is jewel auction proceedings are there. Jewel auction proceedings, it was there. And the manager, what he did, he has opened the jewel packet. He has taken the jewels. He has gone to the local jewelry shop. He has sold the loan and has given credit to the value of the loan to the suppose if the jewels have been sold in the open market, it would face say some 25,000, but the loan amount is 20,000. What he did, he has removed the jewelry and has gone to the jewelry shop. He has sold it for 25,000 and has put 20,000 to the loan account. He has closed the loan, and this 5,000 is being taken away by the banker, by the branch manager, and he has included this type of jewel packets in the auction. And the people normally, whoever committed mistake, they will not come to the bank for the auction. Here, I found that no auction, it was not included in the auction. It was not included in the auction, but I noticed that the amount has been given credit to the loan account by saying that auction proceedings. See, there what he did the mistake, he has prepared 2 papers. He has prepared 2 papers. One is the genuine auction paper, and another one is the adjustment paper. Luckily, both the papers I have got during my inspection. Then I asked the manager, no sir, I just helped the party to repay the money. So I have closed this jewelry, these loans by way of this method. Then I reported. So he was also again suspended because he was not supposed to remove the jewel packets. He has to personally carry the jewels to the shops and he has sold. This is one technique they have adopted. Second thing is the same manager what he did at the time of auction, both the parties have got loan amount of 10 lakhs. Loan amount of 10,000, for example. And for the A party, the outstanding is 7,000. That is, when they did the auction, A party jewels have gone to the value of 7,000. And B party's jewelry, when it was done the auction, and it has gone up to 14,000. The loan amount is 10,000. So here there was a shortage of 3,000 in A account, A party's account. And there was a surplus of 4,000 in B's account. What the manager did, he has transferred the money from B account to A account so that he treated that both the loans have been closed. It is a violation of contract of bailment because A is different, B is different. B's surplus should be returned only to B and A's deficit of amount has to be recorded from A. But what he did, he has adjusted the surplus of B to A's account. This is also another violation. So I have done a lot of findings in it. So this is also another major fraud that I found during the year. So my sincere request to the fellow members, please verify the JOL auction proceedings. Definitely you will find some mistake because there will be some syndicate also will also be there. Some people they join together and sat in the auction, they will never allow others to come and participate in the auction. So JOL auction should be verified by you. And court seal found on the backside of the document, Bhuvaragasamy case, I have already discussed. And Thoughtco loan sanction without spots verification. It's a very, very interesting case. I'll share. It is a what's that? Animal loan. It's a what's that? It's a cow. No? They want to buy cow. It's an animal loan. So here it is also coming under the category of Thoughtco. So what the manager did, he performed very well. He has received, just like matching deposit, this manager asked the person to remit 55,000 into the SPF. But he has received a subsidy, but he has not transferred the subsidy to the account. What this manager he did, he has sanctioned 17 lakhs, 17 loan applications, 17 loans of animal to the Thoughtco team. And all the Thoughtco group, they are all hill tribes. They are residing in the mountain. So that mountain name is called as Jarugu Malai. Malai means mountain. That is in Tamil. Jarugu means it's a place. Jarugu mountain. So he has sanctioned 17 loans. That manager has sanctioned 17 lakhs, 17 loans. Since he has got 55,000 in SB account, he has received 50,000 subsidy. So he felt that bankers are safe. Bankers are safe. The only one good thing is he has not transferred the subsidy amount to the loan amount. Here he has got the SB account. That is, the party has remitted 55,000 into his SB account. Here he has got 50,000. So he has released 1 lakh. He has released 1 lakh. And 17 loans have been sanctioned by the manager without visiting the actual residence of the borrower. That is, he has not climbed Jarugu mountain. He has not climbed Jarugu mountain. Then it created some suspicious, suspicious view on the branch manager by the regional office. After 4 days, the chief manager visited the Salem branch. Then he said that, sir, tomorrow we have to go to the that is Jarugu mountain. We have to go to Jarugu mountain. You have to see that assets have been created. Assets have been created. The people, Thoughtco people, they wanted only the subsidy. They wanted only the subsidy amount so that they can spend. So assets have to be created. The manager, he didn't know where the Jarugu Malai. So what? Then he called me, and around night 11:30 he called me. So because he was a very close friend of mine, he called me, Ravindran sir, can you come to my home? Sir, it is 11:30, sir. I can come to the morning. No, it's an emergency situation. You have to come home. I went home. There I found the manager, cashier, as well as the officer. All the three are there. Then I asked what happened. Then he narrated everything. Sir, I have not visited the unit, but I have sanctioned the loan. This is my stand. So I want to fulfill the government scheme also. Also, I help the party and my money is also safe. Then what is your advice? Then I told him, okay, sir, no problem. You took the manager to Jarugu mountain and I'll send a driver because I know that he will not receive a single pie as commission. He's a Mr. Clean person. That manager is a Mr. Clean person. He's an innocent person, but he's a Mr. Clean person. So then I told him, okay, sir, tomorrow you took the chief manager to the Jargu mountain. I'll send a guy who knew the road. It's a mountain. It's a big mountain. It's that chief manager is weighed something around 102 kg. He was not in a position to climb the mountain. So you do one thing. You took that chief manager, sir. We have to go up in the mountain. You come, because I asked one guy who knew the route, and he took the manager as well as the chief manager. Then both of them went to the Jargu mountain place, and when the manager asked the chief manager to climb the mountain, he said, no, I will not climb because my health, it will not permit, so I will not come, I will not climb. You do one thing, you have to prove the evidence that assets have been created. This is what I want to say. Then he said, okay, sir, no problem, I will give the evidence of assets have been created. Then in the night, I asked one thing, whether you have done the insurance. This is what I asked. He said, no, sir, we have not created any insurance. No problem, sir. Everything is solved. You go to sir. Then he said, sir, how Ravindran? No, sir. You see, the doctor has to tag the animal. So they have to punch the animal. So that for that tag, the government doctor, veterinary doctor has to give you a certificate that he has put their tag on the, on the ear. For that, you get a certificate from the doctor. Yes. So that means the veterinary doctor, who is a government servant, he has seen the animal. One. And second thing, you have to take a photograph and you have to climb the mountain, sir. There is no other go. You have to climb the mountain and take some photographs among the borrowers. You have to have some animal, that is a cow, of some 4 or 5 people, you have to take photograph. So government doctors, you have to get the signature. Next day, you have to take the insurance, that is animal insurance. In that animal insurance team also, as per rule, they have to see the animal, then only insurance policy has to be given. But normally all the insurance people, what they do, they release the insurance policy without seeing any animal. So the logic is they have to see the insurance animal. Okay, this is the second thing. The next day you have to take photograph along with the cow. And at the time of government doctor verification, the animal was there. So asset is created. Insurance policy is being issued only after verification of the asset. So at the time of insurance policy also, the animal is seen. You have taken some photograph with the animal and you have to send the report to the regional office. There you can say that assets have been created. So this is a thing, but here that manager, he has not done any mistake, has not cheated the bank, but he wanted to help the customer, but unknowingly was trapped. So I have given this advice to them. First, you get the doctor certificate. So government doctor has seen the animal. Insurance team has also seen that animal. You have climbed the mountain and you have taken the photograph along with the customer. So assets are created. So thereby you can escape. But it is not a fraud. But if anybody did the fraud and if they follow this procedure and if any fraud is being taken place, nobody can find this. So this is another type of fraud which I have seen in my audit career. Next one is playing in NPA accounts. So NPA account means that's what I said, that in quick mortality they can play everything. So after sanction of the loan, before becoming NPA, they filed a case before court of law. In that manner, they can play in NPA accounts. And next one is valuation of the stock and the property value. So valuation of stock, they say that without a stock also they can value. And regarding property value, what the advocates they do, the values what they do, they value the agricultural land in square foot. They value the agricultural lands in square feet. Thereby, the property value is increased tremendously. So as an auditor, you have to see whether the valuation done by the engineer is correct or not. If the valuation is being done on the square feet, you have to see whether those lands are approved property or not. Next area is agricultural land valued in square feet. This is what I have said. And guarantor photo not attached. This also I have discussed. and no school consumer loan sanctions. See, previously, most of the private sector banks, they say that, sir, you produce the management declaration saying that we will deduct from the salary, we will hand over the money to the banker. That is paid deduction undertaking. So there was a team, and what they did, they say that they have got TV quotation, they have got some vehicle quotation, they have got some fridge quotation and everything. It's all consumer loan. They used to go to the school, and the school teachers, what they did, sir, I don't want to buy the TV, but I want money. So what they did, okay, sir, no problem. He has applied one sales tax, that is one RC, and he has created some dummy unit, dummy shop, and he has issued the quotation, and based on the quotation, he has submitted to the bank, and they have availed the loan. That is the bank, that is a staff of the schools, they avail the loan, and this DD is being issued in the name of the vendor, and the vendor, he himself put the DD for collection. He, without supplying the assets, he has taken the money, he has taken his commission, remaining amount they have returned to the teacher, and the teacher has to repay by way of paid deduction. That is, headmaster has given the undertaking that we will deduct the amount from the salary and we will remit to the bank. So bankers, they have accepted. And suddenly what this vendor did, he has created some dummy vouchers, dummy quotation, and as well as dummy schools also. He has created a school, and he has fabricated the seal and everything, and he has submitted the same thing to the banker. And the banker, what he did, without verification of schools, without verification of the borrower, because this vendor has got very close connection with the manager. So the manager, on the faith of vendor, he has sanctioned the loan. So all the loan papers this vendor has taken, and he has forged the signature. So this was found on a later part, that when the repayment has not come, then the next manager has gone for inspection. There he found that there was no school at all. So this is also another type of fraud that I have found. So as an auditor, if you find any consumer loan is there, you have to see whether assets have been created or not. Here I want to tell, if any loan is given by the banker to the borrower, assets have to be created. If the funds have been diverted to some other purpose, it amounts to fraud. And now I am going to touch about the cash frauds. I want to touch about the cash frauds. That is cash removed from the middle. This I've already discussed. Second one is other bank slip is found on the cash. Suppose the bundle, without verification of cash, that is the other bank's bundle, other bank's slip that is found in the cash bundle. If that is there, that also you have to check. And next one is not entering into the cash register. So this is there in the consumer loan. You can see not entering the cash register. This is what I said. See, in the cash, at the time of cash verification, no, and there is against the shadow balance, they did the fraud, and in order to avoid one-day interest, the bankers, they help the party. So this is what we already discussed, this type of fraud. And another thing is cash cabin push the bundle. So at the time of cash verification, so you can see there is a huge cash is there. You have to calculate the cash by way of row and column wise. By way of row and column wise, you have to calculate. Then you have to arrive at the total bundle. And it is very difficult for you to unload everything and count the physical verification of the notes. So for that, there is one short technique. You have to push the cash bundle. You have to push the cash bundle. And one of the branches where I did this exercise, suddenly the notes have fallen in the middle. There I found that there was a misappropriation of cash to the tune of 32 lakhs by the cashier and the officer, because they have arranged the bundle in such a manner that the inside the notes, inside they have put a empty some wooden, not wooden box, some box they have put, and when I pushed it, and the cash has fallen in the middle. So there I found out a misappropriation of 32 lakhs, 32 or 33 lakhs. That is there in the that I found out in my cash, by the statutory audit. So you have to push the bundle. This exercise also you have to do it in case if you find huge cash, huge cash. Other areas are token. So this is also another area where frauds have taken place. Suppose it is now, it is not a token system, it is a system based token. Even few branches still they are following the token system. See, suppose if IOB is there, for example, if IOB is there, IOB in Mount Road, they have got the token. IOB in some say Saidapad, there is also IOB with the same token. So here 1 to 100 token is here. In IOB Saidapad also it is 1 to 100 token. What the few people what they do, they have issued a 50 rupees check and they have got a token of five numbers. Say token number 5. Then from here, from say from the Adayar, they will go to T Nagar immediately. There they will go to the same IOB. And there is a display token number 5. If number 5 token is there, he will go there and take the case. Sometimes there will be a delay on the part of the number 5 token. What this guy did, it's a IOB token from one branch. He has handed over the token 5 to the other branch. He has taken the money. This type of fraud also. It was that now it was not possible because there was every system of token is now being converted into system based token. So it was not possible, but this is a token mistake that I found in my audit. So this is one type of mistake. And NCOP cases, this is a very big case, and even I can rate that this is the number 1 fraud which I found out in my audit career. This is the number 1 fraud which I found in my audit career. Here I want to tell the experience. So this has happened in my concurrent audit. This has happened in my concurrent audit. I went to a concurrent audit along with my staff, and this staff, his name is say I don't want to reveal his name because at present he is the sub-inspector of police because he is my staff, and at present he is the sub-inspector of police. But at that time when he joined me, he has done the articles under me, and I have taken him to the audit. And this is the first audit I have taken him to the audit and told him, sir, this is the voucher and this is the statement. You have to take it and you have to tally the amount. You have to see the signature and you have to see the purpose. Everything I told him. And if he happened to see anything other than this in this voucher, you have to call me. Then he has seen some vouching. Then the day end, he said, sir, I have seen lot of letters in the voucher. And he asked me, sir, what is the meaning of the letter? Then I have gone through the letter. I found that it was a fraud. I'll tell the modus operandi. It is an accident claim checks. It is an accident claim checks. All the accident claim checks after the court decision, court verdict, the checks have to be given in the name of the lady. Let us take the name of the lady is Palani Ammal. Palani Ammal is a very famous name in Tamil. Or let us take the name of the beneficiary is Palani Ammal. That is, Palani Ammal's husband has died due to some accident. Then court has awarded 10 lakhs to her. And it is an account pay check. It is an account pay check the court has issued in the name of Palani Ammal. And this instrument is being sent for collection through the account of the concurrent audit branch, through the account of the concurrent audit branch. I read everything. I have gone through the letter. I noted that the Palani Ammal has given a letter saying that since I am not having the any SB account or current account, I authorize the banker to send my collection through this current account. And you have to, after the collection of the money, you have to repay it. Okay, if it is for one case, it is okay. But the same current account is used to collect minimum of 100, 150 instruments. 150 instruments. You see that all the instruments are worth about 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. So that means, as per the Negotiable Instrument Act, if the instrument or account by check, the instrument has to be collected only through that account, only through the through, suppose if it is Palnimal name, only through the Palnimal's account and not by anyone's account. So it pricked my mind. Then I asked for the opening card for that current account. Then I found that there was only a driving license. It was there as KYC and no other evidence it was produced. Even photo of the borrower also, it was photo of the customer also, it was not available. Photo of the customer also, it was not available. Then I have taken the address. Then I went to the address of that customer personally, because it was there in the Namakkal. I know it's only 50 kilometers away from Salem. Then I went to the place and asked about this party. Then the people, they say that, I went to the place and asked the person. They say that, sir, he was there, but he has died some 5 years back. So that means the current account is opened in the name of the death person. This is the first instance I proved. Then all these checks, all the accident claim checks have been routed through this current account. And I asked the manager, I asked the staff, then who is the authorized person to operate the account? It was the panel advocate of that branch. It was the panel advocate of the branch. So the panel advocate, he has opened a current account in the name of the dead person. All these type of accident claims checks have been routed through this through this current account. Okay, then he has colluded with the branch manager. He has colluded with the branch manager. Then when I inquired, and I found that all the accounts from that account, 10 lakhs have come into the account. The advocate's commission is 5%. He will take 5%. And remaining 9,50,000, he will hand over to the person who has brought the check. For that, there are agents. And this, out of this 9,50,000, the person say that is, they went to Palniam Mall and they handed over only 2 lakhs. Say that you have got only 3.5 lakhs sanction. I have already spent 1.5 lakhs and my fees is 25,000. He has taken some 1.75 lakhs. He has given 2 lakhs to the Palniam Mall, and remaining amount also he has taken. It's the biggest fraud in my lifetime. So when I added the collection, it cost more than 100 crores. It cost more than 100 crores. So the experience, the advice here is, if suddenly if there is any huge transactions that has been routed to a particular account, or if the account base of other parties, it has been routed through the account, you have to be very, very careful. There I proved that the concern has lost. That is, there was a fraud of more than 100 crores. Then on seeing my report, the manager has gone on VRS. Then the AGM also has gone on VRS. GM also has gone on VRS. That means they have formed a team to loot the public. So this is a major fraud that I have found out in my career. That is accident claim checks. Even I got a lot of evidence for this. But okay, but I cannot reveal the secrecy to anyone because of fidelity and secrecy. Just I have narrated the case study also. Next point is RTO draft cancellation. This was also possible because here the rule says that the DD has to be cancelled only by the person who has taken the DD. Here there is in particular area, in particular Namakkal, we can say, even I can tell Namakkal. Namakkal is something around 50 kilometers. Namakkal is famous for transport. So every year, that is the vehicle license has to be renewed. Every year, the vehicle license has to be renewed. The draft for that license, it will be around 5,000 to 7,500 based on the value. So they are approaching this bank. This is a content audit. This I found out in my content audit. They approach the bank to get the draft. He has paid the money, that is the broker has paid the money into his SB account. He has taken the DD on behalf of the party. And this DD he has handed over to the transport office. Then the transport office, on seeing the DD, they renew the license. After that, this broker, in connection with the staff of the RTO office, they have removed the DD. They have removed portion of the DD, and he has come back to the same bank. He said that, sir, I want to close the DD. So for closure of DD, what is required? The counter file is required. Everything is with the broker. Everything is with the agent. And the original DD also, it was submitted to the banker. Banker has to give credit to the current account or SB account of the person who has taken the DD. Everything is fulfilled. And the money, that is the DD which has encashed, the amount has been shared between the broker as well as with the clerk, with the officer of the RTO, that is Road Transport Officer clerk. They have shared. And this was highlighted by me, why this person has taken this much of DD, why daily there was a cancellation of DD. Then I asked on test check, I called the party, that is road transport, that is a lorry owner. I called him and he said, sir, my license is renewed. So this license renewed. Okay. So that means the money has not gone to the government account. So in the middle, they removed it. So this is also another fraud that I have found out. When I reported this fraud, and when the RTO also, they came to the bank, that is road transport officer, they also came to the bank and they have taken the list of draft cancellation, and they in turn, they cancel the license of the vehicle also. So it is also another major fraud that I have found out. And subsidy return of account, return of, see, they say that, sir, we have written off the subsidy. So subsidy, it was there, suddenly it has gone. That is, subsidy is debited and where the credit goes, that you have to see. That is a formula. Subsidy, it was received by the branch. They have written off, they say that, sir, we have written off the subsidy. Okay, kindly show me the book of subsidy. Then they say that, sir, we are not having the books. So subsidy, it was there in the account. Subsidy account, it was debited, and where the credit goes, I am not able to trace. So subsidy register you have to see, and if there is any debit in the subsidy account, and you have to confirm where the credit goes. This is also another fraud area. Now, recently, this is a major fraud that is going on. You heard about the counterfeit notes. You heard about counterfeit notes. Now, counterfeit checks are in circulation. Now, counterfeit checks are in circulation. In my area, you can say this. So for this, how to find this? I'll tell. You go and see the check return register. In that check return register, the bank, you have to see on which head the bankers return the checks. On which head, for which reason they mention. In my case, I found that it is not drawn on us. It is not drawn on us. That means it is drawn on whose name? Then I asked. He said, sir, there are a lot of instruments that are coming for collection. But suppose if it is A bank, so this A bank check has come for collection, and the A bank say that it is not drawn on us. So actually, it's a counterfeit checks. So whenever you receive a finance from anyone, the financier, they ask, you have to give me the check. Then these counterfeit checks are in circulation in the market. They used to buy these checks and hand over the counterfeit checks to the financier. After getting the loan, they fly away. They will not be here in that place. So when the financier, they put the check for collection, the bankers, they have to return those checks saying that it is not drawn on us. So it is a mega fraud. It is, you can find even in all private sector banks because the nationalized banks checks have not been printed. On the private sector banks, checks have been printed. So if you are going for any private sector bank audit, you have to see for what purpose the checks have been returned, and if it is returned as not drawn on us, you have to inquire why it was been returned as not drawn on us. This is also another fraudulent area. Counterfeit checks are in circulation. You have to be very, very careful. Whenever you receive the fees, you have to see whether that checks are genuine or not. Then suspense account to accommodate all frauds. Okay. So these are the items that you can find from our guidance note. So from the operation of the account, also you can find the fraud, bouncing of high value checks, foreign bills remaining outstanding with the bank for a long time, and tendency for bills to remain overdue. That means here I'll tell most of the, few exporters, I cannot blame all the exporters. Few exporters, what they do, they export the goods to the foreign country. They discounted the bill with the bankers. The bankers, they will send the bill for collection. But if the money has come, the bankers, they will adjust that money to the loan account. But party, they wanted money. What they do, they requested the buyer of the goods, sir, if there is anyone in Tamil Nadu, you can ask them to give the money. It is a Hawala transaction. So through Hawala, the money is received, but the bills remaining outstanding. So if there is any bill outstanding for more than 180 days or 360 days, you have to analyze the reason why these foreign bills have not been paid by the export buyers. It is a major fraud prone area. And delay observed in payment of outstanding dues, frequent invocation of bank guarantee and development and LC. So underinsured or overinsured inventory, invoices devoid. So there are various frauds, almost some 70 more, I think more than 70 frauds are there in our guidance book. You can see all these types of frauds. You can go through it, and if you got any doubt, you can do it. Only one caution I want to tell here is, and even after that, I want to tell the case filing. Just hold on. See, there is a masters here. From here, I will take another 5 to 10 minutes so that I can complete the fraud. Master circulars on frauds are issued by the RBI. This you can find from the RBI circular. It controls all the scheduled commercial banks. Directions are issued by the RBI to bank to work in a proper framework, reporting the frauds immediately. If there is any fraud, they have to report it. And if there any staff accountability, do effective fraud risk management. And what are the preventive measures that banks have to take? Everything that is there in the RBI's master circular, which are related to fraud and internal checks. And what is the other thing is fraud prevention and management function. That is, it has to be done by the chairman, managing director, and chief executive of the chief. That is, this management function has to be controlled by chairman, managing director. And in case if there is any fraud, you have to investigate. And board approval is required to frame the internal policy on fraud. This is the bank's policy. That is, every bank has got a board. Board has to approve it about the internal policy on fraud, and everything this you can get from the our issued guideline. So RBI specific classification, in case cash shortage is more than 10,000, you have to report to RBI. Cash shortage is more than 5,000, deducted by the auditor management and not be reported on day-to-day basis or occurrence. You have to report to Central Fraud Registry. In that, you can find the fraud. So these are all procedures to find the fraud. And fraud report you have to submit to Reserve Bank of India, Central Office, Mumbai, and Reserve Bank of India Central Fraud Monitoring Cell, Bengaluru. And there's a flash report on fraud, 5 crores or above. Within 1 week, it has to be brought to the knowledge of the bank's head office. And reporting of police, how to complain to the police, private sector banks and foreign banks, 10,000 above, you have to report to state police. And 1 lakh and above reported to state police, and 1 crore and above you have to report both to State Police and the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. So this is what, I want to tell about the highlights of the fraud. The fraud is ocean. You cannot go into the depth. Be ensured that you are going to have your certificate of practice in the next year, because if you fail to identify the fraud, then your certificate is in danger. So be ensured that you are going to have your certificate of practice in the next year, and you have to be sincere in the audit, and don't take the audit very lightly, and you have to change the auditor slogan. Don't be a watchdog, but be a bloodhound if you detect the fraud. This is what I want to tell about the fraud. Now I am closing the evening, that is evening presentation, there is afternoon presentation. I'll again come and meet around 7 o'clock. I am going to take about the records and registers that you have to see during the audit, and any other items if I left, or if you got any doubt, you are welcome. We will come exactly by 7 o'clock. We will sit and have final discussion in the evening around 7 to 9. That is an important area wherein you have to see the registers, records, what are the things that you have to see during the audit. That's a very, very important area. Please don't miss the opportunity. You have to come, and definitely we will meet around 7 o'clock in the evening. Thank you very much. Just I'm closing the presentation, and whatever will be your doubt, you please have in the last session, so that we will finalize the audit presentation now. Thank you very much, and just I'm closing the presentation. Nandri Vanakkam.